All right, we're live. We have
Right.
10 million concurrent viewers. Just kidding. Crypto's dead. There's no viewers. That people stopped streaming. I just watched a live stream of somebody that used to promote terrible ICO coins, and he's just like, yeah, I quit. He just quit. He's like, I'm not doing videos anymore. He's got like
Yeah.
120,000 subs or something. A lot of
Oh,
guys are
really?
doing that. Yeah. Yeah, because if you're into
And no,
altcoins, and altcoins have just
100,
died for years.
120 subs and nobody's watching.
120,000 subs, and well, I'm sure people would watch, but I guess you get tired of recommending people to get financially destroyed buying things that just keep going down. So, I mean, maybe he grew a conscience or something. I'm
Well,
not
my track
exactly
record
sure.
is so fabulous that I don't know what that feels like.
Same. Like now, so two things we can cover right now. There's clickbait in the title that says, "Is Bitcoin going to zero?" The simple answer is no. But because YouTube viewers are so damn stupid that they only click things with thumbnails like this, or Bitcoin going to zero in the title, I figured I'd give that a try. I don't think I've tried that one before.
Oh wait, you just put your title is Bitcoin's going to zero for this
With a
video.
question mark, yeah, yeah. But I've done other ones. I did another one where I would just raise it 10,000 every video, like Bitcoin going to 120, 130,000, 140,000, because it will eventually. So why not? Who cares?
Right. My clickbait is Richard Hart. Everyone knows you. And price predictions. People love that.
Yeah.
And portfolio recommendations. But I'm not a financial advisor.
Well, I can do that for you right now, which I'd love to do. I make a YouTube video like once every 2 or 3 months, and people will watch that one YouTube video and take that trading advice, or, yes, I'm not a financial advisor either. You're responsible for your own trades, but they'll take this prediction analysis that I make on what the price will do, and then they think it applies for eternity, forevermore, and then they never get another update, right? So if I make a price prediction and I say, yo, like Bitcoin's $3,000, we're down 86%, it seems like a good place to close your shorts and buy here. And then America bans it. You need to stay updated, right? Like
Right.
the
So it's
world.
October 24th. The Bitcoin just fell to 7,500. So if you're watching this 3 months later, look at the calendar.
Well, yeah, it's like there's a book by Reminiscences of a Stock Operator, and it basically says you should not trade on tips, because if someone gives you a tip to get in, but they're on vacation or you can't reach them, or they don't give you a tip to get out, then you don't know when to get out, right? So you don't actually have trading advice that you should or could take unless you have an entry, an exit, and a time frame and a timer on when you invalidate your thesis, and you have to know when news changes things, right? So I called, like, the easiest call ever. I called for like a 10% bounce from I think it was like 9, it was like 8K to like 9K, basically, something like that. And we went up to like 88.40, and then we fell. And then I called the like stop it in profit. But people don't listen to the calls. I have a free trading channel at t.me/, strape charts, like strawberry grape. And I have a free price calls channel at t.me/Richard's calls. And these stupid, retarded mongrels, they only look on YouTube. They don't follow me on Twitter, twitter.com/Richard Hart Win. They don't follow me on Twitter, where I tweet hundreds of times a day. They're not in the price channel. They're not in the trading channel. And then they come on YouTube and they shit talk good calls that I made that were profitable. And they're like, oh, you got wrecked. You're like, no, you got wrecked, you dumbass. Like, you can't watch a video that comes out once every 3 or 4 months in crypto that never sleeps and expect to be able to trade that. Doesn't make any
Well,
fucking sense.
my advice to my viewers is the don't no trading. I don't think traders win unless you're the
Usually not.
manipulator. You know the saying, if
Yeah.
you're at the poker table and you don't know who the sucker is,
Yeah.
it's you. And so unless you're the guy creating the pump and dump,
Yeah.
which you're trying, if you unless you're that guy, you're the sucker. So I tell people to hold. Granted, over years, like I can't wait to sell some Bitcoin. Over 50,000. I start dollar cost averaging. I trade in that respect, but
Yeah.
this short-term trading, but it's fun to talk about price changes. That's
Well, it's like
predict.
I told everyone that the reason that we pumped and the people that bought the bottom was a plus token Ponzi. I'm the only person popularizing the idea because everyone's a bunch of fucking cowards. They're not willing to say, oh yeah, the Bitcoin price was really just from a Ponzi. They're not willing to say that.
It's funny you say that. I just noticed that the other day about the plus token, and I was like, shit, did that cause the Bitcoin rally? I mean,
Yeah,
what
it did.
did the plus token? What are your numbers? What's your
They've
source on
got
it?
so they cashed out on their exit scam from their Ponzi 200,000 Bitcoin,
Yeah,
which is
but when
one
were they
percent.
accumulating?
They
Is
were
my question.
they were active over the year before the 14K top, and the day of the 14K top was when their founders went to jail. What a coincidence! What an amazing coincidence that the day the Ponzi gets shut down is the day of the 14K top. Who knew? Like, and
Wait, so 200,000 Bitcoin. Sorry, what's the
it's
dollar value of this?
it was
Bitcoin?
$2 billion when Bitcoin was 10,000. Now the
How
Bitcoin's
much has been sold already?
well, we detected them laundering or using CoinJoin and Wasabi Wallet to attempt to obfuscate sales of coins on Huobi, which is where they're doing all their transactions. It's where all their users came from, and it's where they're dumping their coins.
Yeah,
That
there was
was
a
about
long post on Twitter about that.
yeah,
I
it was
couldn't.
about 30,000 coins that were in that thing. But if you want to do the chain analysis, you can look at all the rest of the coins as well. So
But
I don't.
ballpark, if there
I,
were 200,000, would you guess that more than half have been sold,
no,
or
I don't think so at all.
and the other ones you think they're stuck or they're going to get sold, or
I
you know?
I think they're going to get sold. So if like a normal seizure happens, like when Ross Ulbricht went to jail, those coins got seized that were on his laptop when they tackled him in the library. And I don't understand why you would run a criminal enterprise from a fucking library, but
And free
seems
office
it seems
space.
really stupid to me.
They have vending machines, I think there.
So his I think he had 200,000 coins as well. Check it. His coins, got seized and then sold at auction. I think Tim Draper bought them from the U.S. Marshals. Um, you know, so when people get arrested and their coins get seized, they usually nearly never get sold on an exchange. They get OTC'd in an auction by the people that auction stuff that's been seized from government. When government sees things. In this situation, even though 6 guys got arrested, I don't think they got the top guy, and coins are still moving around. Because I want to remove these coins from being able to claim Bitcoin HEX. Why the hell did I say Bitcoin HEX? I haven't said that in a year. HEX. I don't want the plus token Ponzi people to be able to claim free HEX tokens, and so I would love to remove them from the UTXO set so they can't claim, just like we do with Mt. Gox. Now we know the Mt. Gox coin addresses, the 139,000 or 138,000 coins that they have, because they're in court documents and they don't move around, and they're held by the Mt. Gox trustee, Kobayashi in Japan. The plus token Ponzi coins keep fucking moving around, and I hope they're in addresses that can't claim, but I
Yeah, I
think they
guess.
are. I think they are in addresses that can claim. Otherwise, they wouldn't have been able to use the Wasabi wallet. So it sucks. Like I hope they don't. I hope they don't know about my project, and I hope they don't claim.
So
Because
getting to price prediction,
Mhm.
if that's where we were going. Hearing that, I mean, what is your price
Well,
prediction?
here's the problem, right? When the game was just a Bitcoin chart, it was a much easier game. But now the game is, how plugged are you into China, and are you the last guy to know when a Ponzi opens or the last guy to know when a Ponzi closes? And if that's the game, I'm not qualified. I don't know shit about China. Nothing.
You mean you think there may be a new Ponzi to replace the
Sure.
plus token
Yeah,
Ponzi?
sure. Yeah, 100%. Why not? This isn't the first one. BitConnect pumped Bitcoin. Plus token Ponzi pumped Bitcoin. I've heard rumors of a couple new ones, which I'm not going to name. And as long as these Ponzi schemers find it useful to have people send them Bitcoin instead of dollars, because it helps them keep their gains or whatever, it's harder to seize. Yeah, we're probably going to see something like this again. So it fucked the chart. It 100% fucked the chart. We went from 3K to 14K in 4.5 months, which is about a 5x, and with no dips. The biggest dip we had was 25%, and We only had that on a couple of exchanges because some guy felt like dumping 5,000 coins on Stamp. On Finex, it didn't even dip very hard. That's unfucking reasonable. Bitcoin doesn't do that. And then the first dip that it actually got from 14K, it's not supposed to drop more than 40. We went from 200, 100x up to 20,000 with no dips over 40% in 2017. We're now at a 47% dip now. And those dips all resolved and found their bottom in 35 days. This dip is on day like 120 or 130, something like that. So for me, that's like, we're not in a bull market. If you're in a bull market, you don't dip this deep. If you're in a bull market, shit doesn't take this long to resolve.
Hold on 1 second. 1 second. Just, is Fairwind plus token?
No. That shit's hilarious, though. Fairwind only got $9 million in their smart contract.
How much?
The $9 million. Plus so token got
that was
billions.
The number one gas user on Ethereum.
Yes.
Just
correct.
They're stupid or something.
Their contract is very poorly written. Yes.
And plus token, is that on Ethereum too?
So the way plus token works is you buy real crypto and send it to them, and then they give you a fake app that pretends to make you money, and they give you a fake token.
Oh, it's not.
And then you feel rich.
Not even crypto.
Yeah, the only crypto that exists in it is when you send them real crypto, and then they give you fake crypto back.
Wow.
And then, so I think that they do use the ERC20, Ethereum system to give you their fake token, but then you find out that when they exit scam, it just goes to zero, right? Just like one day, BitConnect was worth a lot, and the next day it was worth zero. It just went blink, right? That's how exit scams work. So, it's funny, we're trying to do the same thing the Ponzi's are doing with HEX, but without the exit scam, without the dump, without the fraud, right? So we're trying to use the same marketing tactics that they use to onboard users and steal from them, but we're using those marketing tactics to onboard users and do them a solid and give them real...
I think an important thing I started chatting about on Twitter one time was there's a difference between pyramid and Ponzi. Yep. Ponzi should be illegal. That means you give people money and they steal it.
Well, pyramid should be illegal too.
A pyramid is just a shuffle. And if you have a fair pyramid where founders are not unfairly taking, it's really just like it's gambling. It's a game. It's a shuffle. It's like the classic.
It's also illegal. I'm not going to say I'm an expert at this, but I'm pretty well read.
Yeah, well,
so,
no, I hear what you're saying. That it's
I can tell you the difference. No, I could give you the law. Like I could just tell you what makes it legal or not, and it's not the exit scam part. So, in the United States, there's what's called the Amway law, and the Amway law. Amway is a multi-level marketing company. Whether they consider you legal or not is based on the ratio of retail sales to reseller package sales. And as long as that ratio is in the level that they find acceptable, then it's legal. When less people actually use it and everyone just wants the ability to resell it, then it's not legal in the United States. Every country has their own different laws, right? So the difference between a Ponzi fails because it makes promises that it cannot keep. It offers you returns that it cannot make, because it usually has no real revenue. The only revenue it has is people depositing money, thinking that there's real revenue, thinking they can all get returns. They just take the new money they got from some people to pay off the old people. And then eventually it doesn't work anymore because you... Go ahead.
Doesn't this mean that Bitcoin then is a pyramid? Because what's the product? I guess you're saying the product is
No, so Bitcoin doesn't have resellers. And it doesn't have a reseller package. It doesn't even have a referral program. It doesn't even have a single tier. So the difference between a pyramid takes an end user and a product or service and inserts the maximum number of middlemen and friction in the middle, which makes it the least efficient possible.
I don't know if you've heard about the famous chain letter that went viral in the 1930s by mail. Have you heard about this thing?
I know of the concept.
It was something. This was one of the first ones. It went so viral that the post office almost had to close down because everyone was sending dimes in the mail.
Right.
You would get a list of like 6 people, and you send money to the top 5, and you put your name on the bottom of the list, and you mail them, and everybody's getting all these dimes, and people made money. And it's just a sort of a money shuffle. Is that illegal according to your definition?
I do think chain letters are illegal in the United States in physical form. I'm not sure about their digital form. So when you receive money into a common pool with the expectation of profit from the work solely of others, the entrepreneurial effort of the promoters, that's a security, and you have to
That is
file.
a security.
Well, it depends on the centralization, right? So, in HEX, we are not a security, and we are not an airdrop, and we are not a fork. So I've got amazing answers to all these things. I want to finish them up one at a time. So what's the difference between a Ponzi, a pyramid, and a bubble? A bubble is when people thought something wasn't worth much, and then they thought it was worth a lot, and then they went back to thinking it wasn't worth that much anymore. Amazon, which does over 50% of all internet sales in the United States, 50%, over 50%, they had dropped over 96% once on their stock price. Is it a Ponzi? Nope. Is it a pyramid? Nope. Is it the most profitable company in the world right now? Maybe. But they dropped 96%. So just because your price got fucked up, it doesn't mean that you're a scam. Now, very often, we do have scams, and very often their prices are fucked up. But the reason they're scams isn't because their price got fucked. It was because other things made them scams. So that's what a bubble is, right? And Bitcoin's had numerous bubbles, and it keeps coming back with newer all-time highs, which other bubbles just don't do. With a pyramid, it's the maximum number of middlemen between end user and service, or end user and product, which makes it maximally inefficient, which is why those suck, right? And with a Ponzi, it's because it promises you things it can't do. It's fraudulent, right? Oh, we're doing arbitrage, and we're going to pay you % a week, when really not doing arbitrage, and they're really not able to pay you % a week. They're just robbing the principal from the new guys to pay off the old guys, and then they exit scam, right?
So, well, okay. I interrupted you last time. Last time we did a show, I interrupted you so many times. All of your fans wanted to kill me.
I don't. Yeah.
So I'm so hard for me.
It happens to everybody, man. Apparently people like interviews where the other person doesn't talk, which seems like a stupid interview to me.
But I am going to interrupt for one quick thing, and then you can get back to it, which is because for the people watching on my channel, I talked about your HEX thing before, and I have a bunch of questions about it on whether I'm going to do it, whether it's a good idea, and all this.
Do you like free money?
I don't want to rush to it.
No, we'll do it last. Look, everybody on my channel knows about this shit, so they want to hear about everything else first, right? Okay, so I'm happy to cover HEX absolutely last.
I want to tell my people it's going to be at the end. If you miss it, I'll put a link on I'll find the time of when because after I ask a bunch of questions, then I'll tell you what I think of HEX, and we'll get to that later. So for those of you who are wondering, I'm going at Richard's pace here, so get your pillows.
I don't mind this interview going 8 hours, bro. I don't mind. It saves me from having to do real work.
But we'll try.
I got a long list of real work I got to do. So now we know the difference between a Ponzi, a pyramid, and a bubble. And they have different properties, and people just mix and match them like fucking idiots because most of the people are stupid.
But I have one other variation, which
Sure.
is when I think of pyramid, I'm imagining this game theory like, remember FOMO? What was that stupid?
I remember it. I'm not going to give them free advertising.
There's these sort of game theory incentive pyramid type things, which get people to gets them to hold, rewards early adopters. It's sort of it's a little pyramid-y, and to attach that to a real business or a real use sort of makes that like a utility token with a bit of a pyramid scheme that's okay to hold, So I feel like when I think of pyramid, I just think of some sort of game that if you follow the rules, you actually pull out more. Than
you're confusing it a little bit. So a pyramid requires that one person onboards another person, onboards another person, onboards another person. That's what makes it a pyramid. The actual game theory that is employed to make people want to do that, that's not the pyramid part. That's just good salesmanship, right? So like, when you get it on an airplane and you use airline miles, is that a pyramid? No, but it's game theory, right? When you use your credit card and they give you cash back, is it a pyramid? No, but it's game theory, right? They pay you for some things cash back. They don't pay you for other things. Well, so there's a shitload of game theory in the world, and that's good and fine, and incentive programs and affiliations, and like Tesla has an affiliate program, Amazon has an affiliate program. Everybody's taking their cut. YouTube basically has an affiliate program. How does that work? Well, they get customers, and then they give you some of the money if you bring the content, right?
So the difference is sort of if there's no product associated with this game theory.
No, it's really just the difference between, is it 1-tier referral or is it a 10-tier referral? That's the only difference. So 1 tier, nobody has a problem with it.
Oh, it's illegal. Oh, is that what I mean? More than 1 tier? When does it become illegal?
The Amway law states that it becomes illegal when, I believe, 70% or more of the sales are for reseller packages instead of retail consumption. So I believe the magic number is 30%.
It needs to be the majority of.
I think it doesn't even have to be the majority. Like, I haven't looked this up in quite a few years, but I know I'm pretty sure the number is 70-30. I think 70% can be the bullshit sales, but I think you have to have 30% real sales. So I think you can still have a majority bullshit sales. Check it up, like just on Wikipedia, Amway law. It's like that easy. So the point I'm making is, like, you can still have majority bullshit reseller sales, I think, but you do have to have 30% actual retail people buying it to use it. So let's talk about the security thing. Why isn't HEX a security? I'll wait till you're back. It's no rush.
Sorry, I'm actually here.
It's all good, man.
No desk.
So
right, yeah.
Why isn't HEX a security? For the same reason Bitcoin isn't a security. Okay, why isn't Bitcoin a security? Okay, where does Bitcoin come from? Every Bitcoin that's ever been created was created because someone mined it. Okay, well, what is mining? Mining is where you do computation and then you mint yourself your own reward, your own Bitcoin, if the computation you did meets the rules of the network. That's how every single Bitcoin got created. People created the Bitcoin themselves on their own computers, period. Okay? So how is HEX created? The exact same way, just the rules of the network are different. So in Bitcoin, you're hashing, trying to find a number of leading zeros before some other number, which is your target, your nonce. And then how does HEX do it? Well, you have to do that same stuff. A block has to be mined that does proof of work, that does all that same stuff. You don't have to do it yourself. You can pay someone else to do it, a fee, right? So we have that exact same component there. And on top of that component, so that's the proof of work component. On top of that, we also have the proof of stake component, which says that you had locked coins earlier and now you're unlocking them. Or you had joined the adoption amplifier and now you're leaving it. And so you mint your own coins. No one else can give them to you. In an airdrop, someone else has coins, they can give them to you.
I need to interrupt because I'm lost. I mean,
Sure.
It's like I don't want to interrupt, but I don't know what's
Okay.
going on.
Okay.
Let me break. Like, there's so much stuff with you have, which either means it's great, you have a lot of stuff, or it's great, but it's hard to understand. But here's my thing. I mean, the simple thing that makes me think, okay, why not with this is, well, if you have Bitcoin, I'm going to get your free coin, I can lock it up. I got nothing to lose, right? If you look at it from that angle, okay, why not, right? And I've seen crazier things get value. So I'm like, okay.
Can I pause you right there?
Yeah.
Let's look at the top 10 and let's talk about this giving free Bitcoin to people. And does it work and is it a good idea? Well, let's check it. Top 10 crypto. XRP gave free coins to anyone that wanted to give their email address. They're in the top 10. That might even be 3 or something. I think they are number 3. I haven't looked in a while. XLM, Lumens, top 10. Gave free coins just to Bitcoin holders. Okay. BCH, top 10. Gave free coins just to Bitcoin holders. Okay, how many coins do you want to see in the top 10 that gave free coins to Bitcoin holders before you're like, oh, that's a pretty good idea. Yeah, I'll give free coins to Bitcoin holders too. Furthermore, Bitcoin themselves used to be free, and I mined them for free, and that's how they onboarded me, and then that's how they got me to buy in.
Here's my thing, and this is a little bit unique to my situation. So I may determine that I'm not going to do this because it's too complicated, and I got too many Bitcoin. I don't want to mess with it. I'm not a tech guy, And maybe for other people, I'd say, oh, it's a great investment. It's just I don't want to mess with my Bitcoin that's sitting safe and doing something stupid, right?
You don't have to like. It's so
Yes.
safe. It's not even funny.
Here's what I'm trying to understand. So I have Bitcoin, I only access it with my Ledger Nano,
Uh
and
huh.
I've got this Ledger Nano app that
Uh
pops
huh.
up. But every time I send a coin, it's segued. It's a different public address
That's
for
fine.
everyone.
That's fine.
What's that?
That's
Okay,
fine.
so how do I, when it's time to claim,
Yep.
what is it? I need an Electrum wallet, you
Nope.
say.
You don't.
Okay. So I'm on the, okay, so how am I going to claim it on claim day? How am
Okay.
I going to claim?
It's very easy. You go to the URL that I tell you when it's up that has the claim tool on it. Now, I already have one that I test and make videos from on my local computer. You're waiting for the public one. It's just going to be a URL. So let's say, I'm not sure that's the case, but let's say it's go.hex.win, because that's where I'm going to put the wallet. We'll just see if the claim tool's also there too. Probably will be. So you're going to go to go.hex.win, and you're going to click claim. And this video, by the way, I've got a video of me doing this if you want to just see the video to see how fucking easy it is. It literally takes 5 seconds.
Okay.
Go to
But
go to
I
go to
mean, what?
t.me, go to t.me /
Yeah.
hex crypto, and the video will be right at the bottom. But since people will be posting before you get there, I'm just gonna I'll post it, and then you have to scroll up to find it.
Oh, you and Telegram. I don't have Telegram on my computer yet. I do it on my phone.
Well, that's
Um,
fine. So the video's there. It's
okay. But so tell me,
so you literally go to a website, you
yeah.
paste your Bitcoin address, it gives you something to sign, you copy it to your Ledger wallet,
Oh,
you
wait,
click
sorry.
sign.
I was looking at the page. I'm sorry.
Sure, we'll
Reverse.
start over.
Slow.
Yeah, it's fine.
Go to the
You
claim
go to
page.
the,
It's gonna say what? Put in your public address.
I'm gonna say it fast, and then I'm gonna do it slow. Okay.
Okay.
Go to the Hex website. Click claim. Paste your Bitcoin address. Click copy. Go to your Bitcoin wallet. Paste it in your wallet. Click sign. Copy out the signature. Paste it in the Hex website, and click claim again, and you're done. You're copying
Okay.
pasting shit like
All right.
twice.
You go through one step at a time so I understand these things. First thing is you say your Bitcoin address. I assume that means your public address.
Like if yes,
Okay. Now, when I
but the
I
term
don't
public address is a little misleading because
well,
it's just
because,
your
well, here's
address.
my
No one calls
question.
it a public address.
How
It's
do I
just your
find
address.
address? Because I'm in Ledger Nano, and it looks like every time I send, it's a new public. Like I don't know one address that shows all my Bitcoin, or can I find?
Because you have a new Bitcoin address every time you send a Bitcoin. Here's how Bitcoin works.
So how do I? Oh, sorry. Yeah.
When you send a Bitcoin transaction, it it spends all of the money in the UTXO that it uses, and then it sends you your change back. And whatever change you don't get sent back is paid as a fee to the miner. That's how it works. Now your wallet, the term wallet's stupid. Your wallet is just a collection of private keys that lets you spend the Bitcoin balances on public keys. And those public keys can only be spent in full, like I told you. And because so many people misuse Bitcoin and reuse addresses, which you're not supposed to do, this concept of address came to life, and that's where people think their balances live. But
Well,
really, your address is just the total amount of the UTXOs that were sent to it, which shouldn't even happen. There should only be one UTXO that ever sends to it, but everyone reuses addresses. So when you enter your Bitcoin address into the claim tool, it looks up all those UTXOs and gives you something to sign. And then you just copy, paste it, sign it, paste it back, and you're done.
so I have to go through so in my ledger where it shows each individual 1 cent. I need
You,
to go find the address of each one. So if I have 20, I go to your claim tool 20 times.
if you have 20 addresses that have a balance, then you will need to go to the claim tool 20 times or consolidate your balances into a single address if you want to be lazy, and then you only have to do it once. So
Okay, so now whatever it is, I see I would consolidate by sending it all somehow to somewhere and right
you
back
just
to me.
make a new address and send it to yourself. You click receive, you copy paste your address, you send all of your money to that address, and you're done. This shit's really super simple. It sounds more complicated because you're not seeing it visually.
Yeah.
How it looks in the video is claim, copy paste, sign, copy paste, done. That's it.
I remember 1994 trying to learn FTP, could not understand a word of it.
FTP is still hard, oddly enough.
I sent a file and I was like, oh, that's all it is.
I think FTP got worse because there's like 8 different authentication methods. FTP is worse than it used to be.
So let's go back to, I find my addresses, whatever they might be. Yeah. I hit claim, and then it gives me what?
It sends you, so when you claim, now look, you have to install MetaMask on your browser. That's your Ethereum wallet. That's where your HEX is going to live. Your HEX lives in an Ethereum address. When you want to claim, you need to pay a few pennies of Ethereum as a fee, or mine your own transaction, which is a lot harder, right? So you need a few pennies of Ethereum to claim. I think that you'd make more money. So you've already got Bitcoin, so it's totally free for you. For people that don't have Bitcoin yet, they're going to make more HEX just sending Ethereum to the contract than they are buying Bitcoin, free claiming with it, and then selling the Bitcoin again. Because like a billion coins is getting given out the first day. And that happens, not a billion, but maybe 500 million the next day. For 350 days that happens. So there's a bucket full of HEX, and there's an empty bucket people throw Ethereum into. And if you're 10% of the Ethereum bucket, you get 10% of that day's HEX. And then the bucket's empty, and they start the next day.
Okay, hold on. Let's go back to, I've got you so far to I hit claim, and after I hit claim, what happened?
So if you had Ethereum in your wallet and you could pay a few pennies of fees, then 90% of your claim is going to be auto-staked for a minimum of 350 days. You're going to need to type the number. If you type a longer number, you get more bonus shares. So if you have...
Okay, so I claimed, and then it's, so I had, if I had 1 Bitcoin, I claim, and now I have X number of...
You would have... I would tell you exactly how many you have, because this is math that I can do. If you claim the first day, you get a 20% speed bonus. If you used somebody's referral link, you get a 10% bonus on top of that. If you referred somebody, you get a 20% payout on top of their claim, plus their speed bonus, plus their being referred bonus, on top of all of them. So the referral system adds about 32% to the payouts in total to the people that claim if they're referred. So let's say you're not referred. It would be wise for you to be referred. You would make more. But just for ease of math, let's say that you just claimed the first day, not referred. You would make 10,000 HEX per Bitcoin plus the 20% speed bonus.
So right there, I hit claim. It's just going to show me, congratulations, you now have X number of HEX.
Right. It's going to send 10% of this HEX directly into your wallet that you should probably stake.
You're going to know my wallet because when I did the claim button, I'm connecting with MetaMask to hit the claim button.
Well, I mean, this is the blockchain. It's all public.
What?
The blockchain's totally public. Everyone already knows that these balances exist because they're public.
Right.
And the only new piece of...
How did this get connected to my MetaMask? Where did we do that? Like, did I, when I go somewhere, MetaMask pops up, do you want to connect to this website?
Right. Yes.
What's happening when I go to the claim? The claim is an Ethereum transaction.
Right. Correct. Yep.
I see. So your program, basically, I had claimed that's an Ethereum program that looks up the Bitcoin, computes how much HEX, and then puts it in my wallet.
Kind of, yeah. Kind of. It's very, very close. So the only thing that Bitcoin has to do with HEX at all whatsoever is that we're using it as a way to tell who should receive the most HEX when they free claim.
Right.
And if you're right. So if you're a giant whale, we fuck you over. We reduce your stack by 75% off the bat. Because if you liked our project, you could have split your wallet up and not hit the silly whale penalty. But since you didn't care enough about the project to appear to not be a whale, we're going to fuck you up. And we're going to reduce your stack by 75%. Now let's say you're a smaller whale. You have less than 10,000 coins. You have 1,000 coins. We're going to fuck you up by 50%. You could have avoided it by splitting your wallet into wallets that are less than 1,000 each. But you didn't want to do that, so get fucked. And all that money that you get fucked for is going to be given to the stakers at day 353. So
Okay.
all the coins that couldn't claim, all the coins that wouldn't claim, all the people that were late to claim, all the whales, the Mt. Gox coins, all those coins are given to the stakers at day 353 by their shares.
Okay.
They
So
get in. Yep.
so now I've
When you
claimed.
do your claim, you're going to have your stake with the length that you chose with a minimum of 350 days. That's 90% of your stack. And then you're going to have 10% that you can do whatever you want with. I would suggest that you stake them. You can do whatever you want with them. You can send them, sell them, do whatever you want.
I have to stake it for a
No.
year. I
The
thought there was
90%, yes. 10%, no.
So in a year, I can sell it.
You can sell 10% immediately, and the
Right.
remaining 90%, you can sell in 350 days.
Now, isn't that going to create? I mean, a year from now. that
Yes,
first-
because people don't do math properly. So everyone assumes that they assume that there's some date at day 350 where everyone's going to dump, but they don't realize that the claims occurred over a year. So the dumps occur over a year, and people get paid 3 times more to hold longer. And everyone already knows how long everyone claimed for. So everyone already knows when everyone can dump. So the price knows not to go too high. And people time their dumps so they don't occur with other people. So if you knew some giant fucking whale was ending his stake on day 700, you wouldn't end your fucking stake on day 700 because you had that information.
The options for staking a year and any length higher.
Right now you can do a stake for a day. So if you get your coins from being a referrer or you get your coins from using adoption amplifier, you don't have any restrictions on length, right? It's not auto staked. You can choose a day. You can choose 10 years. I think we'll end up at 15 years. I'll know in the next few days.
Now I'm confused again. I don't know why. So first I thought that, so I've got my Bitcoin and I thought I'm going to get it and it has to be locked for a year.
If you free claim Bitcoin, your shit gets auto staked 90% so that you buy more instead of selling like an asshole. I am not in the business of giving you free money for you to fucking sell and drive the price down. I created a coin to make the price go up. I only want to give free coins to people who buy fucking more. If you are going to only sell, fuck off and do not claim.
Okay.
If I can convince you to buy more by showing you mad gains, then come and claim and then fucking buy more, right?
So what you're saying is that if I buy HEX, then the staking is variable. But if you're just claiming free HEX, it's a year minimum. No?
Let's start from scratch. It will make it very easy. You can stake HEX for the minimum staking period of a day or maximum staking period of about 10 years, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was 15 years next week because it's math that we have to do.
Okay.
In between 10 and 15 years is going to be your maximum stake length. A day is your minimum stake length. There is a share price. When you make a stake, how many shares you get is your HEX divided by the share price. If you get in the first day, it's the lowest share price that'll ever exist. If you get in later, it's going to be 5 times higher. You get 5 times less shares. The people that got in before you will have gotten 5 times more, right? Now, what sets the share price? The system, every time someone ends a stake, it looks at how much profit they made, and it sets that as the share price. And whoever has the highest profit ever seen in the whole system, that sets the share price. So if some guy 5x'd his HEX by being a staker, the price becomes 5x higher, right? So, which means that if you ended your stake and now want to go and restake again, you're going to get 5x less shares, which means you're going to get paid 5x less, basically.
Okay, I think I'm still stuck on this issue, and pardon me.
You can stake as long as you want or as short as you want, unless you're free claiming. If you're free claiming,
how do you get them if you're not free claiming? You buying it from you through with Ethereum?
The most important part of this project is the adoption amplifier. The adoption amplifier is what lets the referrers make money onboarding people that didn't have Bitcoin at the snapshot, which is the vast majority of human beings. The vast majority of human beings do not have Bitcoin. They do not have Bitcoin to free claim with, You can't get them to time travel and have purchased Bitcoin back when the snapshot happened. So if you want to use the referral program to onboard new people, people have to be able to turn Ethereum into HEX. And if people can turn Ethereum into HEX trustlessly, with no counterparties, with no order book, with no slippage, with no fees, then that's perfect, right? It also happens to be the mechanism that EOS used to make $4.2 billion. That's more than Satoshi made. That's more than Brian Armstrong of Coinbase made. That's more than Arthur of BitMEX made. It's more than all of them made combined fucking together. So that really, really awesome, amazing launch metric of having a 350-day launch phase where people can transform ETH into another token, it's a really, really, really good idea. And it gives a referrer something to sell. And it means that you can onboard the entire planet without fucking middlemen, right? Now, so the first day, 1 billion HEX are being given out through that system. About 500 million will be given out the rest of the days. If more, so if your round trip fees on getting Bitcoin are about $100 a coin, then it would take $8 million of deposits that first day to make it so that free claiming was a better deal. So if more than if more than $8 million comes in and it cost you $100 round trip to get in and out of Bitcoin, then you would have made more free claiming. But if less than $8 million comes in the first day, you would have done far, far, far better being an adoption amplifier. And that happens for 350 days. I think $1.7 billion would have to be generated.
Here's the thing. You must have done well in math in school.
I did. Yeah.
You got to understand that most of us, and I'm actually pretty good, and my channel is not even up to my level. So pardon me for repeating. So,
do you know how EOS launched, or you don't know?
Yeah, I know all about it. No, I got all your logic. I'm just
it's the same
trying to
shit.
run the numbers in my head for me to know what I'm in for here and what my expectation would be. So again, there's two separate things. There's the free claimers, which is we already own Bitcoin, you're going to give some for free. And then there's people who
people that use the adoption amplifier
because they want to get involved. And then the next
I don't use the word buy, and I don't use the word purchase because someone else would have had to have already had it to give it to you. You can't buy it because no one else has it. You mint it. You're the one minting it. You're the one doing the computation. You're the one causing it to exist. You're not buying it from someone else. Okay, you're creating it yourself.
And the price of it is based on demand, sort of. With something like that. It's
not. I don't even call it a price. It's a ratio. It's how many ETH did you have to put into this thing to be allowed by the rules of the network to mint yourself those things. Right?
Now, it sounds like you're providing a lot of incentives for people to mint instead of just all the free claimers like me.
Right, because fuck you guys. I want the price to go up.
Well, listen, this was your idea. You presented. I saw you. Free claim.
But I'm trying to explain this to you, and it's very, very important. If you free claim and you never buy more and you just sell, you are an asshole who hurt the price, and you are not my friend, and you are not helping. Okay? I do not want people to claim that just fucking sell. And the idea behind this is that if I show you a great project that works wonderfully for a fucking year, and you care about it, and you're interested in it, and it's got speculative stickiness, and there's so many more things to watch. In Bitcoin, you've got the price and the hash rate, and that's it. And no one even watches the hash rate. So really what you've got in Bitcoin is just the price. We've got how many people are staking? When are their stakes expiring? What's the average stake length? What's the average stake size? Are they referred? We've got like so many more things that people care about that are sticky and glue them to the project that over the course of the year, people that bought just to dump one day in the future should become purchasers. That's how it should work, right?
So what you're saying is I get my free tokens and
you can sell 10%.
I might not be an asshole, but you're going to make sure that I'm not an asshole because I'm restricted for a year anyways. Right. That's sort of how you put that in. So, and your hope would be that I'm like, you know what, this thing is cool, it's doing good. My year is up now, but I'm not going to dump it all.
Exactly.
Right? I mean, that's sort of the thing. Now, so the question becomes,
and it works so when you're in the.
I don't think you should be angry at the people who, you're setting up a game.
No, but so I tell this to people because I want them to understand that they are not virtuous and they are not useful if their goal is to dump on other people's heads, right? If your goal is to buy something and dump on other people's heads, you are a leech. So don't think that you're fucking awesome. Yo, man, I'm gonna get this free thing. I'm gonna dump it on their fucking heads. You shouldn't be excited about that.
You know what? Listen, that was sort of your pitch 8 months ago. I mean, I'm not coming in here like that was like
yeah, that was before auto staking existed, and that was before the adoption amplifier existed, and that was before I figured out that idea, right? If you go on the highway, I improve. Like, yes, my pitch wasn't as good then,
well,
right? It's far better. Listen, and here's the funny part, right? I am the thing that I'm giving you. I'm trying to make more valuable for you by doing these things. So by getting you and other people like you to buy instead of sell, I'm hooking you up and doing you a solid, right? When I explain to people why HEX is better than Bitcoin, they're like, oh no, I've got a bag of Bitcoin and that makes me angry. But what they're fucking stupid is I'm giving them something free and trying to increase the value of the free thing I'm giving them. So like when I do things that maximalists don't like, it's in the benefit of the maximalists. I'm only giving free coins to Bitcoin holders. I could give free coins to anyone the fuck I want. I could choose any cryptocurrency I want and put them in the UTXO set and allow them to claim with signatures too. I could put fucking Dogecoin in there, put Ethereum in there, but I'm only doing it for Bitcoin holders, right? So when I do these things that feel emotionally to you like, oh no, I'm actually hooking you up and helping you. I'm making the shit that I'm giving you worth more for you, right? You will see higher returns on this than you'll see on Bitcoin. You think Bitcoin's going to go up 10x this year? You think Bitcoin's going to 80 grand in the next 12 months? It's fucking not. Now, what's the likelihood HEX can do at 10x? Oh, fucking good. Super fucking good. So...
You know what you asked if I think Bitcoin's going up. One thing that kind of excites me is this. Have you seen this TBTC? Decentralized version of Bitcoin coming to Ethereum.
It's fake. It doesn't work.
Is fake?
Yeah, I read their white paper. It's bullshit. You have to trust some oracle to not steal all the money. This shit never works. So I would love for that. Listen, I would 100% love for that shit to work, and I would fucking allow the adoption amplifier to accept it. Okay? But the adoption amplifier only accepts fucking ETH because it's the only thing you can actually trust.
Yours launches. I'm just thinking for the price of Bitcoin, if Bitcoin's available on Ethereum and then Bitcoin goes into DeFi, that amplifies the DeFi, which gives a use case to Bitcoin.
We already have that shit. We already have that shit. We already have wrapped fucking Bitcoin. We already have that shit. And neither is TBTC. It's not decentralized. There's $6 million in Lightning. There's $6 million in the Lightning Network. There's $4 million in Wrap Beast TC that has BitCo as a fucking counterparty as the Oracle. And I would rather have BitCo as Go as a counterparty Oracle than whatever Rube Goldberg fake bullshit abstraction the TBTC people think that they're going to get to work that they fucking won't. All right?
Oh my God. You sound like the
they're not.
Bitcoin maximalism is coming out. Like
no, I just know that shit is hard, and I read their fucking white paper, and it fucking sucks. And it's vaporware. It doesn't even exist. So, like, yes, like, shit that doesn't exist, I don't really care about. By the way, the concept of...
Yeah, I'll give you that.
Hold on. The concept of bringing Bitcoin to Ethereum is multiple fucking years old. And there was a project that already had Bitcoin on Ethereum, and it already fucking failed. So this already existed, and then already fucking failed.
Alliance version? I mean, I don't think there was like this TBT.
No, a truly peer-to-peer one.
It hasn't launched yet. I was just asking your opinion. To me, it looks promising, but
if it could work, it would be great, but it can't. You're just going to have to trust a different set of oracles. You're replacing Bitcoin.
Chainlink, you know about Chainlink?
It's also stupid because oracles isn't solved. You're just all of that shit is stupid. Anytime blockchains work good.
You get a lot of activity with Chainlink. I see it's like one of the top.
Yes, because of memes.
Because of what?
Memes. They did well on 4chan.
Well, isn't it? I see a lot of gas being used for. You ever see this ETH gas station?
Right, but if the
but if the gas doesn't mean people are just trading it, doesn't it mean?
Yes, it does.
Using this, I thought that meant usage of feeds through the.
Sure. System. Okay. Well, let me know what they're using it for then. What are they using it for?
Honestly, I find it difficult to understand. So I don't know.
No, they're not fucking using it for anything. Like the blockchain is useful for speculation. The blockchain is useful for censorship resistance. Period.
Well,
if you have to trust oracles.
Gas fees last 30 days, $82,000 in gas fees for Chainlink.
Okay, well then how much did you spend on the Wii token then, or what was the name of that one? The fucking The other Ponzi, they got 9 million. They got the shit hacked out of them. I mean, they used a lot of gas. Did you buy any? There was another. By the way, there was another token that used a stupider. There was
pyramid
another.
Ponzi uses a lot of gas for a reason, but Chainlink. I mean, is that what you're saying? Is they're just having an inefficient system?
No, I'm saying that using gas is a fucking bad thing, not a good thing. I could have bloated up the Ethereum blockchain.
Well, it's a bad thing if you're wasting it, but if you are efficient and a lot's being used, that's a sign of that a project is working. In fact, gas.
I disagree 100%.
Overall on Ethereum, gas fees paid, I think, would be a positive indicator.
I disagree 100%. Let's go over the history of fucking Ethereum users who've used lots of gas, okay? Who was the first one? CryptoKitties. How did that shit work out? Okay, fucking terribly. Okay, who was the next one? Some fucking airdrop that didn't use UTX.
Is number 2.
Yeah, and they're actually useful. And they just started doing that shit. That's only a couple months old. So let's look back at history more than a couple months.
Well, I'm looking present at this ethgasstation.info. Do you know what these things are?
Yeah.
You go to this URL. There's ATB banknote is number 3. I don't know.
I don't know why you want to shill fucking shitcoins, man.
Oh, I'm not shilling any of this shit. It's probably all garbage. I'm a shitcoin minimalist.
So, listen.
I'm just. We're off topic. Fine. I'm not.
We're not off topic.
Gossip.
There is a law that as soon as you start measuring something, it stops being a good measure because people game the measurement. Okay? That's a law, right? So in the United States, when they do law enforcement, if there's some big push to reduce the number of a certain type of crime, magically the police officers start classifying that crime as something related and slightly different to hit the metric. But the reality doesn't change. The fucking measurement changes, right? In some countries, suicides are extremely high. And in some countries, suicides are extremely low. But it's not because the suicide rate's any different. It's because the people don't want to write that shit on the death certificate because it's socially frowned upon more there. And so they do everything they can to not write suicide, right? You think gas matters. I'm telling you that it didn't matter for CryptoKitties, and it didn't matter for this other stupid fucking airdrop that just shoved coins at everyone and bloated the blockchain instead of using a pull system like HEX uses, where you just claim when there is a claim to be made. I'm not pushing things at everybody and being like, hope it works out. Only the people who are going to use it pull. And so there's minimum blockchain bloat using a Merkle tree proof, which is just awesome and innovative. Who was the next people that used a lot of gas? This other token who's the hilarious Ponzi video where it's on a green screen and there's fake books behind them that have just been copy pasted. There's a camera with a lens missing. It's the longest gibberish. It's hilarious, right? Whatever the name of that token was that got hacked for 9 million. It's also the worst smart contract that's ever existed. They used a lot of gas, right? The history of Ethereum projects using a lot of gas has always meant that the project will fail. Always. Except for Tether. And why is Tether good? Because Tether does more goddamn volume than Bitcoin or any other cryptocurrency. Tether does more transaction volume on exchange than any other cryptocurrency in the history of mankind. It's actually fucking used a lot. So they used to run it on Bitcoin, on the Omni protocol, and they fucking stopped because it sucks. And then they switched to Ethereum on the ERC20, just like HEX, because it works and it's awesome. Just like BNB launched as an ERC20, $1 billion project. TRX launched as an ERC20, $1 billion project. Ethereum launched. Like, everybody runs on fucking ERC20 because it's great.
Shoot, now I forgot my other question.
Anyway, if you think using gas is good, then you would have bought a bunch of shit that got wrecked.
What's that?
If you think using gas is good, you would have bought a bunch of shit that got wrecked.
Yeah, no, I'm saying one metric. I don't even know what got us to this gas metric anyways. I'm not even sure.
So let's back up a bit. You're going to free claim your HEX. You're probably going to self-refer yourself because you're a smart guy. You're probably going to get paid 32% more, right? So you're really on your 10,000, you're going to get 18,400 HEX is what you're going to end up with. Okay?
And where do we get that referral link to? What was that? So T dot.
You just throw your Ethereum address at the end of the URL. So it's hex.win / $r equals your Ethereum address. And that's it. So there's no sign up. You just put your Ethereum address after $r equals. Okay. And it's also in the wallet. Like when you go to the chat room and you look at the video. Actually, I'm not sure I put the claim link in the wallet because it showed my testnet URL. So It's super, super simple. You just paste your Ethereum address at the end of the URL after $r equals. That's how you set it sets the referrer cookie in your browser. You're going to end up with 18,400 HEX for every Bitcoin you have. 90% of them are going to be auto-staked. You sound like a dumper. You're probably going to choose a minimum auto-stake of 350 days.
I'm a buy and holder, but I don't have to worry. Listen, first of all, you're coming at me here a little bit. My thing, to be honest with you, is I'm just trying to get the numbers. Like I was thinking.
I'm giving you the numbers. It's 18,400. 90% auto-staked.
To be honest, I was thinking when you originally, from last time, is like, oh, I don't know. I was going to think if there's the math, and I think I have good insight based on but it was like lock some for short, lock some for medium, lock some for long.
Yeah, so you can do all that shit with your not auto-staked. You can do all of that.
You're creating a game theory thing here to get people to lock up and to have a token that sort of it becomes a store of value. I get it. It's a good idea. Doesn't just because it's a good idea doesn't mean it works. Listen, but I'm not a dumper. I'm not here.
I've got 17,000 signups on the email list with no demo. I've got 4,000 users in the chat with no demo and not $1 spent on marketing. And the referrers aren't doing shit right now because I can see the logs and the referrals. We only have up to go. We have more fucking memes and users in our chat room than other tokens that have $1 billion valuation, like BSV. It's a no fucking brainer that it works. Like, it's a no brainer. And we're giving away free money. Who else is giving away free money? Do you know how easy it is to give away free money? It's really fucking easy, actually. It's probably the easiest thing you can do. So I'm giving you the numbers. You get 18,400 HEX if you self-refer yourself and claim on the first day. 90% get auto-staked, minimum 350 days. You can choose up to 10 years, maybe 15 years if you want to get 3x the shares. If you want to do more than one auto-stake length, then you need to have more than one claim because you can only choose one length per claim. So if you wanted to have one for a year, one for 2 years, one for 3 years, one for 4 years, one for 5 years, 20% each, then you would need to have 5 addresses that you're claiming from that had the same balance on them, right? So you can self-refer yourself, you can shard your wallet into little parts so you can have different auto-stake lengths, and it only auto-stakes 90%. You can do whatever the fuck you want to do with that last 10%. You can stake every day. It's really every other day because you lose a day every time you end stake. And once again, I have to tell you, telling you about all this free claim stuff, as fun as it is, I truly believe you're going to make more HEX with less money input if you don't already hold Bitcoin by using the adoption amplifier.
Oh, you're saying, in other words, if I didn't own Bitcoin, instead of buying Bitcoin and claiming,
you're going to do better with the adoption amplifier.
I mean, running the numbers on that.
You could do both. Well, I mean, I've run the math, and it's very simple. Like, I could explain it to you. So we already know. So here's how the adoption amplifier came into existence. Okay, the referrers are all going to be fucked when we launch because they can only address a market that's extremely tiny of people that already had Bitcoin. Well, that sucks. Okay, well, what do we do to allow the referrers to have something to do for another year during the claim phase and launch phase? All right, well, let's have people be able to transform ETH directly into HEX, just like EOS did, and was the most successful crypto product fiat-wise that's ever existed in the history of man. They made more money than any other token has ever made, ever, period. They made more money than any other business in crypto has ever made, period. Okay, well, let's do that shit too. That sounds like a good idea, right? Okay, so how many coins should we put in that? Oh, well, what would be fair? Well, let's give the unclaimed coins, right? So we're giving the unclaimed coins to the stakers. Let's just give a copy of the unclaimed coins to those guys. And that's what we did. We're just giving a copy of the unclaimed coins to the adoption amplifier. And since they need to be able to start their stakes at the same time to be fair, but there's not unclaimed coins the first day, you have to wait until a day has passed for a claim to be called unclaimed. We have to seed it with some coins, right? We have to start one day earlier to give them some coins. And so all the adoption amplifier is it's the same amount of money that's being given to the stakers, but a little bit less. Because the stakers get like virality bonus and critical mass bonus. The adoption amplifier coins don't get that, right? So there's less of them. So now what you have is, when I did the math, so it was very simple to say, okay, whatever we're giving the stakers, let's just give a copy of that to the guys that are going to onboard with the adoption amplifier. But then after you make that decision, you end up having to actually do the math. And then once we did the math, it ended up that in our models, it seems like about 500 million Bitcoin per day, or 500 million hex per day is going to go into that thing. And, you know, if more people claim, it goes down. If less people claim, it goes up. But it doesn't go down or up that much, because at least 2/3 of the Bitcoin can never be claimed, because they get hit with whale penalties. They use multi-sig. So more than 2/3 of all the Bitcoin can't claim. And that means it's all going to be given to the stakers. And it also means that it's all going to be available to this adoption amplifier thing. And like I said, it gets multiplied a couple, you know, by the adoption bonuses for the stakers. So now this AA system, it has 1 billion coins the first day as a pre-seed. It has probably about 500 million all the rest of the days. If you do the math, if a claim is 10,000 and then a speed bonus on that claim is 12,000, then there's 83,333 Bitcoin worth of claims in the AA system day one. And then you do your math. How much is my round trip to get in and out of Bitcoin to free claim this stuff? And what you find is, if you're on Coinbase, it's 0.5% to get in, 0.5% to get out. The price is 7,500 right now, right? So
are you saying, so of the total that may get mined, and I understand with all this math that I can't keep track of, the total amount that gets minted, you don't know, I'm sure, whatever.
No, but we do know a range. It's a function of how many people claim. The more people that claim, the more stakers are paid. Yeah.
But my question is this: just ballpark free claim. I mean, you know, and let's just say the people who do the free claiming. I mean, what percentage of Bitcoin holders are going to do free claiming? You know,
it's really hard to tell.
But whatever.
It's really hard to tell.
Say
if I let's say I get Bittrex or Binance to claim their.
What percentage? If 30% of Bitcoin holders free claim, what percentage of total HEX will be owned by free claimers?
It depends on how they stake. So much of the currency is given out to stakers that it matters whether the free claimers staked or not.
They all do. Well,
if the free claimers,
right?
What I meant to say, I'm sorry, I misspoke. It matters whether the users of the adoption amplifier stake or not. So because the rewards in the system are so heavily paid to stakers, so we already know the stakers are getting paid more than the AA guys, because they got the adoption bonus multipliers.
So the people who people who mint the HEX get paid out at a higher rate than the Bitcoin free claimers. Yes. But a lot of people don't mint, then more would go to the Bitcoin free claimers.
Doesn't work that way. No, it doesn't work that way. So let's look at.
Let me ask it this way. I got one other way to ask, because I remember, you know, XLM, Stellar, they did airdrops for Bitcoin, and you know, to be honest, it's like
they raped their price.
They did give out free stuff, but for the total amount of XLM out there, what percentage went to Bitcoin is relatively small.
So let me point that out. When
that sort of thing?
When XLM airdropped Bitcoin, their price did very well. When XLM airdropped blockchain.info, their price dumped like shit. And there was analysis done on who held and who bought more and all that stuff. As I have expressed previously, giving people free stuff is only as useful as they buy more. That is the reason coupons exist. That is the reason freemium games exist. That is the reason when you're on the highway, you will see signs that say, free tickets to Disney World, call this number. And you will get free tickets if you attend the sales presentation. And if you go with your family will buy. That's how good their sales presentation is. Whatever the fuck they're selling, usually timeshare, your family will buy even if you beg them not to. Because the sales is that good.
Let me give you my basic, you know, after an hour of discussing my thoughts here. Because people on my channel, I talked about it before, people are going to want to know, what do you think? For me, listen, I don't think you're a Ponzi guy, you're a smart guy. A lot of, somebody used the term once with projects that fail. Everyone's like, everything's a scam. Right. It's, someone had a great term. I think it was incidental or just whatever. Businesses don't always work. I don't
Mm-hmm.
know that this thing is going to work, right?
Mm-hmm.
You, I hope it does. It seems interesting. You're a smart guy, like I said. Now, for
Mm-hmm.
me, my analysis is for free claiming. Well, you have nothing to
Mm-hmm.
lose. Maybe it's worth nothing, but what
Mm-hmm.
did I lose? I lost a few hours one day.
Have you ever
Screw
done the
her.
math on how much money you would have made had you free claimed your XLP and your XLM and your BCH? It's a lot of money.
Yeah, well,
Did you free claim them or did you miss that?
yeah, no, I did. Yeah,
You
my
missed it.
oh, no, I
Okay.
claimed it. Well,
Okay.
my
There you
yeah,
go.
I actually
Easy.
uh, it was on a
It's
USB.
free fucking money.
Lost
It's
him in the
free.
boat.
Yeah, it's
Um,
free.
but
Can't go
anyway,
wrong with free.
that's easy. And so to my viewers, like, listen, if you want free, I have nothing against getting your free money, and without you thinking they're an asshole or not, whatever. Now, as far as and the other thing is, so then it's locked for a year. So I have a year to watch this thing and see if it's great or not. Like my dump,
90% of
I'm
it.
gonna dump because I'm an
10% of
asshole.
listen,
It's gonna
stop.
be
Stop, stop,
because
stop, stop,
after a
stop.
year.
You're misunderstanding some very important shit. Okay? If you self-refer yourself, you are going to have your funds locked 90%. 10% is not locked. But I'm going to tell you a fucking Easter egg that you can use to avoid the auto lock. If you get another address and refer yourself, that referral is not auto locked, which means that like 30% of your fucking stake is not locked, and you can do whatever you want with it. Okay?
Refer
You
your
can do
refer.
whatever you want with the 30% of your fucking claim. You can dump it immediately. Okay? 30%.
Okay, I don't
So make a
understand.
new address. Make a
30%.
new address. You have
Make
a
a new
Bitcoin.
address.
You have a Bitcoin.
Yeah,
You're going to free claim with it,
yeah,
right? But you want to make 10% more bonus by clicking a referral link, right?
yeah.
So don't click your own referral link. Make another Ethereum account. Make another account in MetaMask with another address. You click your little icon with a little funny logo in it, and you click fucking add account, and it makes you a new address, right? And you put that address at the end of the URL.
So
And
I have
now you have two addresses in your MetaMask account
my address. I have one address for the hex and
yeah,
another address for the
that's
referral.
referring you. Yes. Okay. And now your referrer is going to get paid 20% on top of your other address's claim that got its own 10% bonus for clicking the other account's fucking link. Now 30% of your claim plus your gaming the system self-referral bonus plus you're gaming the system, making another account, fucking use it, your own link, you're going to be able to dump 30% of your shit immediately. All right?
So, yeah. So back to the advice from my people here, which is this: getting this free money and doing the double referral. For most people on my channel who have nothing better to do, I mean, really, you got, I'm sure, worse things you could do. For me, I have plenty of people who tell me as a millionaire, what am I doing messing around with this stuff? But you know what? You never know. Fine, it's free money.
Do you want to make the highest ROI you've ever made on anything in your entire life before? Because that's what this is designed to do.
It might not. Listen,
It's literally designed to make a higher ROI than anything that has ever existed in the history of man, ever. And it's a very easy claim to make because crypto already does that. And so if we improve some of the things that crypto does, like having a referral program, is there another crypto that has a fucking referral program? Is there another crypto that has 2 audits? Like, there's so many things that is there another crypto that's replacing a part of the financial system that's worth 7.2 trillion? We're the only people doing time deposits. No,
anyways,
like none of those
here's my
things.
thing. Is that then we have a year after it's free claim. I have a whole year.
Can I ask you a question? How is it that you can look at a shit coin like Chainlink or these other coins and
Actually, I
treat
don't
them
know.
well,
I'm not
but then when we
advising.
talk about HEX, you're like, it might not work. That shit doesn't make any sense.
No, first of all, I say first
what?
of all, everything might not work except for Ethereum, which is definitely working. Everything else might not work. No, don't take it personally. I'm like this with every business. At least you're lucky you're not on with my father. He's just, oh, it's not going to work because he's a businessman, an entrepreneur for years. We always look
Most
at the
things don't fucking work. Like
Yeah,
most
they
things don't. But
Well,
when
so
you
people
see
need
how
to
many
be aware.
people are dying to buy, it's the fucking no-brainer that they're going to buy. I'm dying to fucking buy. Like, we're waiting for this shit to happen.
So, listen. But I'm
If
like
you
this with
listen, if you're talking to a founder and you say the shit might not work, you're gonna get fucking feedback. Like,
Yeah, no, that's fine. But well, I know.
And you're right. In most cases, their shit will not work. In most cases.
I've done a lot of shit, so I know most of it doesn't work. No offense to you, most of my shit didn't work.
You know. I've been in the same boat. I had a lot of shit that didn't work.
And many good ideas, I said I hate it, and then 6 months later, I love it, and I think it's all my idea.
Yeah.
You know.
So once again, the important part here is everything that I do. So you realize that if you make a stake and you don't end your stake when you're supposed to, you lose all your fucking money. Do you realize that? Do you see that dark pattern?
Sorry,
that dark pattern is okay. There's dark patterns built into the system. You can do things wrong to fuck yourself that fuck you but benefit everyone else. It's built into the system, okay? So when I describe a dark pattern to you, right? Like if you claim your coins and you make a stake, but you don't end that stake within 2 weeks of when you said you would, you start bleeding 1% of your stack in that stake every week. And after 100 weeks, there's nothing left. Oh, what if I go to jail? Well, anyone else can end that stake for you running the good accounting feature. Oh, but what if I go to jail and I don't have any friends? Well, then fuck you. You just got wrecked, and everyone else got to pick your bones and eat your body, right? So when I explain to you something that sounds shitty to you personally, it's because it is. But it's wonderful for the system as a whole, okay? Yeah. The concept that you can stake, listen, the shares bonus maxes out at 3,641 days. If you stake longer than that, you're stupid. You're working for free. You shouldn't, if you want maximum returns, you shouldn't stake longer than 3,641 days because you could have ended your stake and started a new one and had all those extra equity turned into shares. But if you stake for longer, which I'm trying to make an option for you, because you working for less money at your own personal cost is a fucking feature and a benefit to the system. But to you, it's not game theory optimal. And it's not the system's job to do optimal game theory for you. So if you want to get paid less by not being smart and by not listening to this live stream and by staking for longer than 3,641 days, then you will benefit everyone else at your own cost. If you don't end your stake when you should and your account goes to fucking zero, you will pay and it benefits everyone else. It's not you. And when I tell you that I don't like people that dump only, you don't like it because it's personal to you for the same reason you wouldn't like seeing your account zeroed and all these other things, but it's wonderful for the whole system, right? So I'm trying to tell you that people don't want free shit. They want free shit that's expensive. They want shit that wasn't free for someone else. People don't want free. They want expensive thing that's free. People don't want, why do you think Bitcoin Cash's price went to shit? Because it was given for free to a bunch of people that didn't really give a fuck. And then everyone dumped on their heads forever.
Listen, and I apologize for anything. And I know, listen, I know I'm an asshole and I can be negative and, blame my parents.
I don't mind. Look, it's okay. I just want you to understand that I'm doing you a solid by trying to make a better project that pumps harder to give to you.
As much as I'm saying, oh, it might not work, I'm also saying it might work. I'm also here. Like I have a very busy person because
Can I ask you a question? Let's go over this.
I believe in
Explain to me how this would not work. I want to know how it would not work.
Not work?
Yeah.
Okay, listen. I don't want.
No, I want to go. I want to really flesh this out because I want you to feel stupid for saying it over and over again.
What's wrong?
Explain to me how the project won't work. We have 2 fully complete fucking security audits that cost me like $60,000. Okay, that's the fucking security audits I got. Right.
My concern for you. Here's my biggest concern. Because is that, and again, it's not in. There's reality and there's marketing, right? Your reality is you're super smart. You understand math very well. This algorithm is probably fucking cool. Everything may be wonderful. Is the marketing simple enough? Most of your customers are morons, right? Who's watching our channels here? A bunch of dingbats.
Mostly, yes.
Okay. So is your marketing simple enough for people to digest? And it's what getting them to click and do it. Is your marketing simple enough? One reason Bitcoin does so well, it's so fucking easy for people. There's only 21 million.
What? What?
No, game theory on why to get in.
Dog, Bitcoin's the most hard shit in the fucking world. What are you talking about?
Only 21 million. Satoshi
Nobody even knows that. Nobody even cares about that. Nobody even fucking knows that number, dude.
lot of people, when I talk to people who are investment really smart, they don't know anything about crypto. Who does? They're just like, oh, fixed supply. I understand that. Okay, not owned by a government. I get that. Oh, and then there's some tech thing that makes it so they can't stop it, like the internet. Oh, okay, I get it. I would allocate. Like, I've talked to people who are big investors, and one advantage to Bitcoin is just they fucking get it. With Ethereum, I mean, which I think is great, if not better than Bitcoin, but try explaining it to people, like, oh, the monetary policy, like, so it's marketing.
You're definitely 100% never going to win the argument that Bitcoin is simple, ever. Never, ever,
No,
ever, ever.
Bitcoin's marketing memes. Like I said,
maybe, but they're not even like, look, this shit dropped when you go to the website, it's going to show you that the average return of the people that got in earlier the day before annualized is some thousands of percent, because it will have been. And since we're quoting your returns in HEX, the sales pitch to the end user is, do you want to make thousands of percent return?
And I
Star asterisks in HEX, which is the same thing every other fucking Ponzi does. They promise you 1% per day.
Gains. Best marketing is anyways is word of mouth. So if people are getting in and they're feeling like it's working and there's a referral thing, then it doesn't matter. Like, then that's the marketing, as opposed to anyways, that's one worry I have. You asked me. Listen, I've been wrong about things on both directions. Either going to be good and it isn't the other way. With your thing, I'm not making even a prediction. I'm just saying, I don't know, like anything.
Here's what I think. I think that you have an internal discongruence in your own brain that you're unaware of. There's a 0% chance that I'm on a fucking YouTube live stream with you, which you do barely ever. There's a 0% chance of that occurring if your subconscious didn't think this shit was going up in price. Fucking period. So you may not be aware of that consciously, but I'm telling you that your subconscious thinks this shit's going to pump, or we wouldn't be on this fucking call.
I bought Kyber token, Kyber Network. I have a little bit of that.
I don't even know what that is, dude.
It might go to zero. I have bought that went to zero. I thought my stupidest one. You want me to?
Why not? Yeah.
What I can be.
Sure.
I bought OMG when they said they're going to be in McDonald's. Okay. Motherfuckers. I mean, what a joke. I've had zeros. Sometimes I get up before it gets to zero and I see I'm wrong. But there's a moment where you think something's great, and then all of a sudden you're like, "What the fuck is this?" Now, other times I get into something and I love it more and more and stay in it. Ethereum never sold a token of Ethereum.
Sir, you are perfectly built for the adoption amplifier.
Thanks.
Since I'm giving you tips on how to make outsized returns and work around some of these dark patterns, you probably shouldn't put all your money into the adoption amplifier day one. So I've got a chart of what happened in other similar launches where they occurred over time. And it seems as though the market usually overinvests day one and then doesn't invest as much days after. And then it scales up and ramps up and picks back up, middle and later. Now that's a function of, the USD to Ethereum price and a function of how, Bitcoin is doing and how altcoins is doing. It's a very insanely complex, thing. But I'm just looking at the data I got. Here's how many coins they got early. Here's how many coins they got later. I think people that listen to me are probably going to do better off splitting up their Ethereum to do the adoption amplifier over the first week. Now, why do you not want to do it over longer, or is there more risk to doing it over longer? Because every day somebody ends a stake profitably, it raises the share price. And so as you're waiting to try and get a better deal from the adoption amplifier, the share price keeps going up. And the real big payoff is on day 353, when at least 2/3 of all the Bitcoin free claims possible get, paid to everyone, times the adoption bonuses, plus the interest. It's just a lot of coins, right? So
one more question.
Sure.
I mean, I kind of understand how, when I called you, I was like, I don't know how this thing is going to work.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how to claim my things. I have all that. I do want to sort of get your opinion on a bunch of different coins, because I feel like we're going to talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
But my last HEX question is, now, can I give you shit? Do you mind that I'm?
Please. I knew what I was getting into when I got on this call. It's my second round. It's not our first call together. I like hard questions. Like, I've spent years answering these hard questions, which is I have answers already figured out from them.
I did your show, like it might have been 6 months ago, and you told me when it's going to launch. I think you said like 3 weeks ago.
Oh, yeah. Totally.
That was more like 6 months, and you were like, maybe. So
we added all those features. So here's the features we added. We added 10% to people who were referred. It used to just be, just the referrers got paid. Now the referrers and the referee get paid. We added the adoption amplifier. We added the ability for SegWit addresses to claim. We added auto stake. We added a lot of shit. It was vital. Like, the stuff's all very good.
Project Creep, I know all about it.
Yeah.
So, but where are we now? The thing is it?
So we've totally, the audits are done. We're just cleaning up the language to publish the audits, right? So all the fixes have already been written, and all the fixes have already been approved by the auditors. So everything's done. The only thing that's left is to actually publish the audits, right? So we're cleaning up language, because if you think about what an audit does, it does two things. One, it finds bugs. That phase is over. All the bugs that could have been found were found. That phase is over. So what's the other thing an audit does? It gives people a perception of security, because as not advanced security experts themselves, they couldn't address the merits of the paper anyway because they wouldn't understand what was written on it. So you need to use language that imparts to them the confidence that you have as a technical expert in a language that they understand, so that they can feel the same things you feel, right? So we've thrown so much testing at this thing that is just crazy, and it works great. Like, only one bug was found, and it is nearly impossible to execute. I don't think anyone ever could or would do it, but we just fixed it anyway, so they can't. It was a Merkle. If you want to look on Wikipedia, it's called a pre-image attack against a Merkle tree. You can read about it.
Please.
Yeah.
You'll knock me out with that
one. So that shit's done, and what's left? What's left is the last screen of the wallet, which I think might be done now, but my lead dev is going to push it tomorrow. And I've got two devs working on it in parallel, apart from each other, aside from each other. So if one of them fails out, one of them's going to finish it. They're not working in serial. They're not working on top of each other. They're working in parallel. So if one of them fucks up, like, one of them will still finish it, and either of them's totally qualified to do so. So the claiming is done, the staking is done, the end staking is done. The adoption amplifier screen is the one that I need to actually look at, because I think it's ready for me to look at now. And that's it. Like, if the wallet's done and the audit's done, we can set the date, right? So we're so fucking close. Like, there's just nothing left to do.
Set the date. I thought there was like a 2 week.
There's 2 week. Exactly. That's what I mean by set the date. You would set it 2 weeks and 2 days in the future.
Everything and then set the.
As soon as the audits are published, and every screen of the wallet has its core minimum functionality, then we can set the date 2 weeks and 2 days in the future. So it's very close. I think November. I really think November. Like, I really, really think November, because like, I could
so
just.
You heard it here first. It's
I could launch right now if I wanted to, but shit would just be harder, right? Like, you'd have to manually do a lot of things that if I just wait a week, everything will be a lot better.
All right. Okay.
So I think it's next month.
Okay, so I'll stay tuned. Let me just see.
Watch the videos. Like, watch the videos of me using the wallet, and you'll see how fucking easy it is. It's so easy.
Now, this time people think you're an asshole. Last time I was an asshole. Now you're mean.
Yeah, I'm a mean asshole because I don't like people that want to dump my fucking coin. I want people to buy more, and it's really important to me. I designed something to appreciate faster and higher and harder than anything else in history.
Someone said your first word as a child was fucking stupid.
Yo, people are retarded. They really are, right?
So that's not true. You're denying that.
I don't think it was. I don't think it was.
Your mom. Okay.
Fabulous. Look, hold on a second. I want you to know how stupid people are. Okay. Think about how stupid the average person is, and realize that half of people are stupider than that, and that's how that guy got to be average. That's how fucking stupid people are.
All right.
Really, really stupid. I'm in Mensa. I'm not stupid. Most of you motherfuckers are stupid. And most of the people Mensa are stupid too, by the way.
I want to hear what you think of these tokens. Lightning round. I mean,
Go.
it doesn't have to. For you, lightning round means it'll take 2 hours. Binance.
I don't mind. I think Binance is like amazing. So
the token?
Probably even the token. Yeah. So like this company has fucking outperformed every possible expectation imaginable and continues to do so to a degree which I don't even understand. The amount that they shit stomp everyone else in the industry is just outstanding to me. They have their own blockchain. They have their own USA. They have their own fiat to crypto onboarding in multiple countries: Jersey, Ghana, United States. They have margin trading. They have futures trading. They have the most altcoin volume. They give away, when you want to put your coin with them, they give away that money to charity. The fucking list is just insane. They have an incubator. They have it's fucking like there's nothing they don't do, right? Now, whether that's good for the BNB price, look, I don't know. I'm not an expert on the BNB price.
You know why I like it too? I mean, the CZ, I love investing with like people who are rock stars, and CZ is a rock star.
Yep.
And a lot of their people who work at Binance are paid or bonused, partially in the BNB.
Yep.
And also I feel like, a lot of projects, I remember hearing 2017, I'm like, yeah, equity might be good, but I wouldn't touch that token. It seemed to be like for a lot of projects.
You're right. And we all look stupid.
With Binance, I feel like they like the token better than the security.
Dude, it is 100% unreasonable how effective that company is. It's absolutely insane. Now, does that mean that the token has to go up in value anymore? Not really. They could have already, people have had this feeling for a long time now, and they're kind of out of new shit to add, right? They opened up the US, they opened up futures, they opened up derivatives, they opened up credit card purchasing, they opened up multiple fiat on-ramps, they had their own fucking blockchain. They got off of ERC20 and onto their own Tendermint, fork. Actually, I don't even think they forked Tendermint. They just use Tendermint, which is apparently what most people are using for their own kind of private-ish block chain things. There's nothing really left that they can add. So,
well, my feeling of what happened, the last run that went up to like 30, I think it peaked at, was they were all.
I think it went up to 50 or something.
What's that?
I think it went up to like 50. I thought. I'll check it.
30, 31.
All right.
So they were all crypto to crypto.
Yeah.
And that's sort of, I heard CZ say once.
It went 39.4. It went 39.4. 39.4.
You missed that.
Yeah.
So what was I going to say? They were crypto to crypto, and then that started, CZ said, that got really competitive. So that's why they've gone for fiat.
Actually, this shit went up to 43.158 is where it maxed out at.
Hold on, let me see this. I wonder if it was after.
On June of 27th.
Finance, like US couldn't go there. I stopped watching it. Maybe it went up more.
Yeah, on June 27th, it went up to 43.158 USD.
When did US get kicked out?
Can't remember.
Well,
I thought it was earlier than June. I mean, June is what, like fucking 4 months ago, 5 months ago? It's only 4 months ago, man. That's not very fucking long. Yeah.
Maybe you know what? I stopped following it when they kicked us out.
I don't think. So the issue here is.
Yeah, it looked like it did hit 40. Okay, fine. Well, you said 50. I said
43.
30. Right, make it even.
Yeah, it's fine. Look, I don't even trade this shit, so it's lucky that I even knew the price at all.
All right.
Here's the problem. Here's the problem that I have with BNB and most other currencies in general. I believe that Bitcoin and and crypto in general tends to go up parabolically. And I believe that when you drop by more than 40%, you're fucked, hard fucked. And that means for any coin basically. Now, I haven't run that against all the charts, but to me, I believe a greater than 40% drop is a fall out of the parabola, and it means you're going to find lower lows before you find higher highs. And it's worked well in Bitcoin, and it's worked well in the altcoins that I've looked at. And now if you look at Bitcoin, if you look at BNB dollar pair, it's down 62% right now. I would feel totally comfortable watching that drop to negative 85%. Because in my experience, when shit can't hold that negative 40, you're going to do that negative 80. My experience, right? Bitcoin fucking 47% drop. Well, we're probably going to do more. It couldn't hold the 40. We went from 200 to 20,000, 100x, with no drops over 40. Never took longer than 31 days, 34 days to find a bottom.
Are you transitioning here to price prediction? You're saying Bitcoin.
I'm saying that this concept that I use in Bitcoin,
6-month price prediction.
This concept that I use in Bitcoin to predict bear market by volatility to the downside using percentage drops appears to be applicable to other charts that are not Bitcoin's chart. It appears to be applicable to any chart I've really looked at. If you find a greater than 40 or 45% fucking dip, you're going to go more. You're going to go fucking deeper, unless it was a shitty wick or some type of error. If it's a free liquid market, it seems like when you drop more than 40, 45%, you're going to keep fucking dropping. And
what
look,
do you think Bitcoin goes to?
Well, here's the problem, right? The bottom got made by a Ponzi scheme, and the top got made by a Ponzi scheme. They bought over $4 billion of fucking Bitcoin, period. And they got to keep $2 billion of it as their own fucking profit. But to generate that $2 billion profit, they bought $4 billion or more of actual Bitcoin with actual fucking fiat, mostly on Huobi, an exchange in China.
Wait, who bought Bitcoin? The Ponzi bought Bitcoin?
The people that onboarded into the Ponzi bought Bitcoin to enter the Ponzi and sent that Bitcoin to the Ponzi leader, and then in return received a shitcoin that went to zero.
You're saying 2 of the 4 billion was new money?
I'm saying 4 billion was new money. 2 billion got to get kept by the guys, and the other 2 billion was given to the head people during the operation. So when Ponzi's are running, a lot of people do get mad gains, and that's how they spread the word.
I see.
And then everyone, some
payout. 2 out of 6
exactly
was paid out.
Right. So exactly. So they got to keep 2. Maybe they generated 6, paid out 2 to their co-conspirators or early Ponzi guys, and then kept 2 for themselves, and then 2 was went. I don't fuck. You get the idea, right? Like, I'm not sure how the Ponzi divided up all the money exactly, but the chain analysis guys have a much better idea than I do. So here's my point. If you put $4 or $6 billion of cash fiat buys into Bitcoin, apparently the price goes up by 5x, right? If they start selling or someone else starts selling, the price goes down. But we don't know when the next one's going to start. And if the next one starts and has the same metric where they're using crypto to onboard their profit, then the price could pump again, and I'm not going to get that phone call first. I'm not going to be the first guy to know. And so I can tell you the technical analysis. I can tell you that when you fall more than 45% or 42%, really 40% in Bitcoin, you're going to find new fucking lows. And we historically have dropped 85% from the peak, and the local peak's 14K, which brings the possible price down to about $2,200 fucking dollars.
With your technical analysis
Sure.
here, the thing I've been sort of going on is, I hear what you're saying about the size of the drop, and I haven't studied. I mean, whatever. Here's my point, which is, once you come, like the rule as it has been, this is how I've thought of it, is you get the parabolic move up, which is 10x. It peaks 10x or more from the previous peak.
Yep.
Then you get your crash of about 80%.
Yep.
Then you got some boring period where it trails along.
Yep.
And then you start, you do it again. And so it really appears that the next move began, but we haven't yet taken out.
Here's why it changed. Here's why it changed. It changed because Bitcoin was the Ponzi then. And the Bitcoin chart is what mattered then. And Bitcoin onboarded the new users then. These new users didn't onboard to Bitcoin. They onboarded the Plus token, but they just happened to buy Bitcoin to do that. In this epoch, the Plus token was the Ponzi. In the previous epoch in 2017, Bitcoin was the Ponzi, along with Ethereum and other shit. And I'm using that term lightly. I don't technically mean Ponzi like, we're making promises we can't meet. I'm just talking about rapid price appreciation, bubble, parabolic behavior in this particular instance. So because Plus token onboarded all the guys and then dumped it when they got shut down, and we don't know when the next one will start, and we don't know if they'll dump more, we don't really know how deep we have to go. And those other 85% drops that we had were easier to have because we climbed so much higher. Funny as it is, climbing a 5x, although we did it quite quickly, is still only a 5x, which in crypto isn't very much. So we might not have to go visit 2200. We might not have to do an 85% drop because we didn't go up as high as we normally do. So the normal price chart analysis of Bitcoin got fucked by Plus Token because it was a Ponzi built on top of Bitcoin. It wasn't Bitcoin being the Ponzi.
You're saying 2007, it's 2017 was the adoption. I don't like using the word Ponzi. I mean the gamble.
Right. Sure. The speculative fever.
The speculative asset
Yes.
were the cryptos. In this case, the speculative asset was something that doesn't exist, Plus Token.
Yes.
And the people who did use Bitcoin to get there, now a lot of that just went to a bunch of idiots who stole money or who won in the Ponzi. So the people who won are looking for the next one. So whatever. I hear.
Well, look, there's a new address that got 94,000 or 95,000 Bitcoin that was just funneled out of Huobi into that address, and to me that feels like a reload. That feels like, hey, the same people that fell for this other thing are now falling for a different thing. Is what it felt like to me.
Say that again. What just happened?
There was some address, a new top 5 largest Bitcoin address was created, with the huge balance, 95,000 Bitcoins, about $1 billion at the time, and no one knew who the fuck it was. But when you do the chain analysis of where the money came from, over a third of the money came from Huobi, the Chinese exchange, after it was isolated by one layer of like bullshit addresses or whatever, right? So Huobi cold wallet, addresses, and then new address, 95,000 Bitcoin, $1 billion at the time. Well, that feels to me like a reload, right? So we know these Ponzi's are playing in China. We know they're using Huobi mostly. We know that a whole shitload of individual Huobi wallet users took a receipt of their funds and then sent them to this new thing. I wouldn't be surprised if that new thing was reloading and onboarding and pumping some new Ponzi. That's what it feels like to me.
There's part of you thinks a new Ponzi site is already launched.
Well, I know that there has, but I don't know their volumes, right? Like for me right now, I give so much of a shit less about trading because HEX is so much more ROI. Like Bitcoin's not going to go up 10x. We couldn't even hold the 40%. We're probably not in a bull market for a little while until Bitcoin becomes the speculative fever again, or some other thing that tags on top of it in Vietnam or something does it. So
let's change topics a little because I feel like this can run. And I'm curious about
hold on. Don't do that yet. I want to say this. We don't have to go to 2200 because we don't have to drop 85% because we only had a 5x run up. Maybe we can stop at 6750 at the horizontal support. That didn't mean a fucking thing on the way up. Nothing mattered on the way up. So it could be the case that nothing matters on the way down. That Ponzi scheme fucked the chart. And I'm not an expert at detecting Ponzi activity. And if that's the chart and that's how you make price predictions now, I'm vastly less qualified than I was previously.
You're talking furthermore, six and change then is more of your thought that we 6,700-ish.
Sure. And look, there's still premiums on the futures. So there's still people margin trading it. So there's still people that can get wrecked. So we still can get a capitulation wick, which I haven't seen in forever. I haven't seen a fucking capitulation wick in a fucking year. I wouldn't mind seeing one, right? Because I'd like to trade that shit. Or maybe because HEX I won't trade it. But if you do want to trade this shit, you're very likely to get destroyed. I do have a free price calls channel. I do have a free trading channel. Go to richardhart.win. You can 100x leverage, trade to your heart's content, EOS, ETH, XRP, Bitcoin, richardhart.win. It's not shitmex. Get off shitmex. Get onto richardhart.win. It's better. Or you could just not get wrecked before HEX comes out and do far better, which makes a lot more sense to me.
Right. What do you think of MakerDAO upgrade to multi-collateral DAO? I feel like this could be, or before even MakerDAO, just DeFi. I feel like DeFi, decentralized finance on Ethereum, is for real. To me, being able to earn interest on dollars is kind of cool. I mean, for me, as someone who holds cash in my business, I mean, geez, imagine someday you could earn interest. You're making faces. Why are you skeptical about that?
Well, I built a product to pay trustless interest to people so that we could avoid counterparty risk and we could pay people higher gains. And so I pay stakers instead of miners. That's what HEX was designed to do.
Here's the thing.
But instead, DeFi.
I'm not going to be, even if HEX does awesome and I love HEX, I'm not going to be a HEX maximalist. Like there will be other, you know, staking and
Yes,
trustworthy
right.
places where you can, and
Oh,
maybe nothing is
trustworthy.
to make
Right.
mad gains,
So,
but you can earn 7% interest on compound,
right.
right? I mean,
So let's talk about what risk you're taking for your 7%, right? Who actually controls whether that system works or not? The people who vote. Are you one of those people? No. Okay. So what we have is not crypto. What we have is a fucking bunch of people that vote to allow your investment to survive or die. That's what you have. Okay. So if you're comfortable getting paid 7% to trust that some guys don't send your shit to zero, enjoy your 7%, bro. I'm not. I've seen crypto get fucked so many times that I'm not excited to take counterparty risk.
MakerDAO is DAI is backed by 300% Ethereum. I mean, that's not
Do human beings vote on parameters that are vital to the operation of that project?
all I know is
Yes.
that the interest rate needs to be the DAI needs to stay pegged to the dollar, and they use the interest rate to do
Right.
that. I think they've been doing a good
Do
job. Here's the work.
people vote? And if they decide to vote like retards, does the project get fucked? Yes, they
You
do.
know what? We'll see. This guy Rune, who runs it, is not. The voting doesn't just do. You know.
Appeal to guy named Rune. You
Hey,
okay? That's what
listen.
crypto is made for.
I have
Because you
issues
trust a
with.
guy named Rune. What? Crypto is made to get rid of counterparties.
Okay.
Period. Not
Listen,
add
I'm getting
them.
your opinion. Listen, I'm getting your opinion. That one, so a lot of DeFi is sort of based on DAI. Or what about, well, then there's dollar peg tokens.
It's a bunch of Rube Goldberg bullshit. No one can use their fucking
Still a
tokens for
Bitcoin
anything because no one accepts.
maximalist.
No,
Your bones.
I am not any fucking maximalist. I'm a realist. I will
You're
tell
a
you the
HEX.
reality. Hex doesn't even exist yet. I'm a realist. I tell you reality. The reality is that you can't fucking use crypto to buy shit anywhere. So if you're gonna sit there and fucking hold it, all DeFi is something for these people that are holding their tokens that they can't fucking use anywhere else to play some fucking mind games, to shuffle some bullshit around, to be like, yo, look how useful. They're not actually useful. You're not actually generating any fucking utility. You're just having some bullshit to do with your useless token that you can't fucking spend anywhere anyway.
Compound, it's lending, it's an algorithm. There's two pools of assets with an algorithm that sets an interest rate. People want to borrow money and use collateral for lending. This has existed for thousands
They
of
want
years.
to they want to
Not
borrow
like
money.
invented lending and collateral.
Okay. Money is defined as something that
I'm
is
not
a
talking
store of
about
value, a unit of account, or medium of exchange. Crypto means none of these fucking things. If you have a 3-year time horizon and you hold Bitcoin, then maybe you could say it's a store of value or better for people that have a longer than 3-year time horizons. This shit is not money yet, okay? It's not a currency yet. It's not. No one's pricing this. Like, none of those things are the case yet. Okay. The reality is,
If a token is pegged to a dollar and it holds that peg for a year and people trade it around, it's money. I mean, that's a medium of
the
exchange.
dollar's money.
Yeah. Well, if a token's pegged to the value of a dollar and someone accepts it at the value of a dollar,
So if
that
I take off my
token-
underwear right now and I stick a
What?
dollar label on them, and I can create a market for that, that's money. It's Richard's underwear money then. That's not how this shit works. Like, it's airline miles are not money, but you can trade them. Like,
Airline
let's
miles
stop
are
calling
money.
everything a scam
Not
and
very
let's stop
valuable
calling
money.
everything money and speak specifically. Okay. There
Well, first of all,
might be
I'm not trying to
some.
define money. You brought up that. I'm just saying there are uses for financial. Are interest rate swaps money? I don't know, but they're worth trillions of dollars, and they're probably better managed in the long run on Ethereum
So
than
I'm
JP
gonna.
Morgan.
How about this? How about I just refer you to Vitalik's comments on DeFi? Okay.
The ones about
People are putting millions of dollars into contracts that probably have bugs in them, and people are going to lose a lot of money.
I read
Okay, that's
the
Vitalik's
article.
quote.
That's not what he said. And I'd refer you
What?
to Amin. Did you read Amin's article about compound finance?
No.
You know Amin Salami? About the risks of what's going on at compound finance. He had a really good Medium article.
Here's your two risks. There is logic being done by a smart contract or by a human. If humans are involved, it's dog shit. It's not crypto. Those fucking humans could be subpoenaed and injunctioned and imprisoned, and then your fucking system fucking fails.
These compound finance there are some things they're cleaning up a little bit, but it's I know what decentralization is. I'm all about decentralization for 20 fucking years. I was about decentralization.
How are you about decentralization for 20 years? Crypto's 10 years old. What were you decentralizing?
You know why? I'll tell. Thanks for asking. Okay. In 1990, I was living in Japan, and I realized, you know what? It's interesting. I saw a bunch of things tied together. Central. No, that was interesting. I
Googled you. Okay, your nickname makes things interesting.
Thank you.
You gonna tell the audience what your nickname is?
My nickname, Sex Toy Dave. Now I'm Crypto Dave.
You're on fucking. You were on a TV show, a Sex Toy Dave, like.
Yeah, well, I know. I
didn't know that. I just googled that shit for sure.
Anymore. I got 2 baby kids. There's no stripper pole in my living room. Like it's a different.
There is a stripper pole in my living room. I don't mind. It's great.
I got some moves. I can give you lessons.
I can do the Hey Boys one where you like put your hand on your ass and spread your legs, but you don't really want to see it. I've seen the video and it's not pretty.
No, it's not. You can't unsee that.
You don't want to see Richard on a strip pole.
Wait, what are we talking about?
I know another one too. Like I know two.
Sextoy.com, Dave 10, you get 10% off. Go now.
Nice.
I'm gonna get in trouble.
Good URL.
What's that?
It's good URL. It's a good URL.
Yeah, we were talking about. Wait, what were we saying?
We were talking about you putting your faith in humans instead of
decentralization. I was in Japan, and I just put a bunch of things together. I noticed that governments were moving from sort of dictatorship, authoritarian, to democratic, right? That the governments were being decentralized, and the decentralized governments were doing much better, and this was spreading around the world. I'm talking over hundreds of years.
Okay.
And as far as economics, centralized economies were losing badly to free market, was really decentralized economies. And I started seeing this trend also just in general, families, we're all becoming, we're all equal now. It's society in general. And I just started feeling like, decentralized shit seems to be better, grow faster, it's cooler. I like it. I bet on decentralization. That's why I got right on the web when I saw it. That's why I created one of the first affiliate programs. I'm like, I'm going to decentralize my marketing.
Hold on. Let's take a pause here. I firmly, strongly, 100% believe one of the most important components of my project is the referral system. Why aren't you using that metric to evaluate whether a token will be successful for? We know that the Bitcoin bottom was made because of the multi-level nature of the fucking Ponzi scheme. What they do is they say, hey, you're going to make mad gains, and get your friends in, and they'll get mad gains too. And then they make billions of dollars. And we're using the exact same formula. Except we're promising them higher gains. Gains.
One thing I do, and in 2017, this made my life very easy, was I always ever think, I don't, like with these white papers, I can't guess if something's going to work too well. What I'm good at is after it launches within 6 months, looking at the numbers, looking at the metrics. If I see a lot of referral activity going on, and maybe I don't have to wait 6 months. Maybe in the first month, I see all of it popping on my Facebook is people mentioning HEX with a referral link. Yep. I'm going to be like, oh, this thing's working. Smart. So I do pay attention to that as a metric, but not until it's a metric, not as an idea.
Yeah,
and that's your thing. It's like, these are ideas that could work, but I don't know. I'll wait and see.
I agree. I agree with you. Look, next month we'll know, right? Like, I think predicting when software will finish is such a fucking nightmare. No one ever gets it right, ever, and nothing ever launches in time, ever. Nothing ever launches on time, ever, in software, ever. So it's just
that's
the game,
why I went.
right?
Well, there's 2 issues though with crypto too, which you're not dealing with regulation. So when Libra announced, the week it announced, I'm like, well, this thing's never going to launch, because never mind the delays in technical, the regulatory delays are unbelievable.
Right.
So I think I believe more. And I just read today in a tweet, which I thought was kind of true, which is crypto networks are more like cities and less like companies. Companies die and people die a lot faster because of, I don't know what I say exactly, but cities, it's like cities exist until like everybody leaves, and they just live on much longer. And so with these crypto networks, between it, the structure of it, and this whole thing about decentralization, it's like
decentralization is misunderstood entirely. And I
I agree
It's
with
one.
that.
So
It's still important. Like everyone says, well, it's misunderstood, so it's not important. It's
no,
very, but it's misunderstood.
I have to unpack that. Is the door lock on your house important? Yes, only if two conditions are met. One, people believe it exists and therefore they don't try and break it. Or two, people are actually trying to get in and it stops them from doing so. But if those two cases aren't true, it's a cost, not a benefit. Security in crypto is as useful as it prevents real attacks or prevents real attacks from occurring. Otherwise, it is a terrible cost. A lot of currencies that could be attacked very affordably are not. They're just not. There's a list
DeFi
of.
isn't a currency. I mean, that's sort of.
It is, though.
The point is.
It is a
Well,
currency.
so
People are making
compound
money on that
finance,
shit.
I'm not. I mean, compound finance. The one hole. It sounds like really is that they have something with their admin and there's a plan already to close that up. But the system itself is a lot of these things are. I mean, look at the thing is a lot of these things are very secure. But look at Ethereum Classic, which is just totally stupid.
Yeah.
And still it doesn't. It exists. Or
Yes.
BSB.
Yep.
I mean, I see stuff that's completely ridiculous.
Yep.
Is fine. So when I see something like compound finance, audited, been around for a while, and
sure.
we're checking off a lot of boxes.
Yes.
I think that's pretty safe. It's
You
not.
have to speak Rube Goldberg. Rube Goldberg machine is a very fancy machine that does a very simple thing after a million different cool other things happen. Like you drop a marble and then it rolls down and knocks over a hat and the hat falls in a mouse trap and the mouse trap.
The idea that it keeps generating energy and never stops. Isn't that the Rube Goldberg?
No, totally unrelated. So Rube Goldberg is where you add a bunch of very fun, interesting other extra crap to do something at the end. So like you'll drop a, I don't know why you missed it. You drop a marble, it lands on a lever. The lever kicks up a little Lego guy. The Lego guy falls in a hat. The hat falls over. It knocks over a domino. The domino knocks over a balloon. The balloon raises up and then pops, and then something falls out of the balloon. And you just keep going over like a million abstractions.
As long as you can keep building new bridges before the ball gets to the end. I mean.
Yeah. So look, I am not saying that DeFi is without merit. I am not saying that DeFi is without value. I believe that we should make a peer-to-peer trusted middleman reduction system for all parts of finance. Bitcoin addressed currency, HEX addresses the time deposit, DeFi could address lending. That's all very good and very awesome. I know that building things is very hard, and I know the limits of blockchains. And the only thing a blockchain is useful for is censorship resistance, and the only way that it acquires censorship resistance is through decentralization. And decentralization only works if the people that are being decentralized are honest actors or punished if they collude or can't all be influenced by the same third thing, right? So if you're decentralized, so let's say there was an address that was used to actually attack Americans. You would find that address would be punished. Exchanges wouldn't interact with it. Miners wouldn't let it transact, and it would be censored. Because everyone wants to see it censored, because that's a good and better thing for the world. And in that case, the decentralization, it would still exist, but because all the parties that were decentralized still agreed to the same thing. I mean, that's what a hard fork is. When Bitcoin implemented a soft fork to turn on SegWit, that was a decentralized system coming to consensus and agreeing to do a new thing. And they could do that to stop the halvening from happening. They could do that to increase the supply. So all of these Bitcoin networks are not mathematically enforced. Blockchains are not mathematically enforced. They're socially enforced, period. And if the society that runs their software decides to play by a different rule set, then that rule set will become fact. There isn't actually 21 million limit on Bitcoin. There's only 21 million limit there as long as people decide to leave it there. There isn't actually a cutting in half of the reward every 4 years.
I phrase that a little differently with the 21 million because I don't think it's that people have to decide to leave it there.
They do.
It stays there unless everybody decides to upgrade the software.
Right. Sure. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's a lot easier to get people to sit and do nothing.
But people agree. But people have to upgrade all the time for other security vulnerability updates anyway.
So if they did upgrade, and this is what I've said too about Ethereum's Ethereum's monetary policy now is a lot more clear. But even when back when it wasn't, it was like, well, they're not gonna.
Here's the funny thing, right?
They print a bunch of coins for me. I mean, that's not, and then it wouldn't get passed anyway.
If you want to get rich, none of this shit matters anyway. If you want to get rich, what matters is, are more people going to buy or sell in the time horizon that I care about? All this technical stuff doesn't actually fucking matter. Really.
Right, but DeFi does matter, because with Ethereum, you've got the issuance rate is what it is, but if more and more totens are being locked up, I mean, it's the same. That's just your theory with HEX.
But
I mean, it's the same thing. If more people lock up,
it's different. It's totally different. Here's why it's different.
But supply and demand.
It seems the same, but it's 100% not the same. Okay, here's why. If you have a token system where people weren't going to use their fucking coins anyway, then they were actually already locked up anyway. They just didn't declare it. Okay, so in the vast majority of crypto tokens, there is a virtual lockup because no one uses their goddamn coins anyway, which is why like 4 million Bitcoin are said to be fucking lost, because they've never moved. They just never fucking move. So you wouldn't be able to detect the difference between holding and losing the fucking keys, right? In a system,
nobody's using it.
No one uses it.
2017.
No one uses it. Nobody uses this shit. Did you use crypto today, dude? Did you use it? I didn't. Actually, I might have.
Okay, so for example, one thing is earning interest, which I'm working on, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I earn interest. It's like, so that's using it. I deposited, earn interest. Then the next then to come back with, well, what is the person who's paying the interest? What are they doing? It's something stupid. They're not really using it. Okay, well, they're doing they're investing, and maybe they're just pumping and dumping or something stupid, you could say. But the thing is,
I am unaware of any reason to borrow a token other than short it. I don't know of any other reason why anyone would ever borrow cryptocurrency.
People are trading. Well, people say there's no use, and then it's like, well, there's trading. Well, that's not a use. I don't know. There's a lot of trading going on.
No, trading is a use. Trading is a use, but it's not a good use for the world. It's a net negative use. Las Vegas is...
It doesn't mean nothing's coming. There's Gods Unchained is coming out. I don't know. People are using it even in the beta release here.
Right.
You think that's...
So I think people will be better served by doing two things. One, what matters is how many people are going to buy after your ass. That's what matters. And is the rate at which new people are buying exceed the rate at which people will be able to sell or desire to sell?
You don't think
that causes price to go up?
The Augur upgrade? What do you think?
No. Look, I met the founder. He's a nice guy. The project's a great idea, but they just can't get users to use it. And
but they're upgrading the whole system. The whole thing's upgrading first quarter 2020.
Does it still run on a blockchain?
Yes. There's all kinds of systems for making it fast in second layer, and it's based on AI instead of Ethereum, and there's a number of upgrades. Hey, it might not work. I'm asking.
No, but like you're just solving the wrong problem. So
you know what? You're calling me negative, but you're negative.
No, most shit sucks. Most shit sucks, and for the shit that doesn't suck, you just have to know what the caveats are, right?
Well, what do you think doesn't suck?
I think Monero doesn't suck. I think Bitcoin doesn't suck. I think Ethereum doesn't suck. I think Dogecoin doesn't suck. I think any coin that holds its value.
Dogecoin.
Yeah, it's just another coin. Like, people aren't getting hacked. It fucking works. Who cares? Like, a lot of these things work, right? A lot of these things are still overpriced. That's all fine. Like, you just have to know what your trade-offs are, right? EOS isn't a real blockchain, doesn't have censorship resistance, but it's faster. That's fine. If you want to make that trade-off and have less censorship resistance but have faster, I'm fine with that, as long as you declare it as true. If you want to have some type of, this is balanced by that and I get 1 or 2%, I think you're fucking psychotic for risking anything in crypto for 7% a year. I think that's a terrible dog shit return that you could exceed by just lending your coins on a normal exchange and have someone that you could sue if it went wrong.
Dollars, just US dollars. Instead of holding it in Bank of America for 0%, hold some of it in compound.
Right, with the caveat that the contract had a bug and now it goes to 0 and you lose everything. 7%. Right, why don't you just put it in Berkshire Hathaway and make 10%?
I don't think
why don't
I'm
you just
not
do
that worried about the contract.
David, listen to me. Why don't you just put your money in Berkshire Hathaway and make 10%?
I
It's
have
up
some
10%
money
over the
in
last
Berkshire
year.
Hathaway, but that's not dollar pegged, and that's not. I can't do that with my business. I have a business that runs. We have to hold cash in
Mm-hmm.
case something goes wrong,
Mm-hmm.
and nothing ever goes wrong. I've been holding too much cash for
Mm-hmm.
20 years,
Mm-hmm.
and so maybe earn a little, not taking all of it and sticking it on there, but earning some interest. I don't know, why
Do you
not?
know what
I don't
most
think.
companies use for that problem? A
What's
CD.
that?
Most companies use a money market fund or a CD to do that, but I'm sure
To
you
get
know
what?
that.
What kind of percent can you get?
Dog shit, like 2%.
So well, this. I mean, listen, it was 15% a few months ago. The interest rates have come down, but CD has come down as well. I mean,
Bro, I would 100% not risk anything in crypto for 7 fucking percent. Not. In crypto, 7% is a dog shit comedy return
you're
for a
thinking
lot
if
of
you're
fucking risk.
holding, right? I wouldn't risk. Well, when you say
7% is a
risk,
terrible return in crypto, and to accept any risk at all for that pitiful amount of money is a joke, in my opinion.
so when you say in crypto, I don't. To me, there's a difference between Bitcoin and a dollar peg token. I mean,
A
and
dollar peg token has extra layers of abstraction and an increased amount of computation, which makes it a larger attack surface for bugs to occur. The larger and more complicated what you're doing is, the harder and harder it is to prevent bugs. That's why Bitcoin
but
doesn't
look at
do.
look at Tether. I
Yes.
mean, it doesn't even have the reserves, and it still holds its. I mean, you couldn't
Yep.
have a worse dollar peg token than Tether, and the thing has no problems. I mean,
The
that's
appeal
it.
to other things sucking more is not the best argument for a thing, but yeah, I can't
Well,
disagree.
I'm just saying. So if something that sucks is working, something that doesn't suck, I am more optimistic about.
Hey,
I
I
mean, you
hope.
have.
Listen,
Well,
I
I'm
hope
not
all of the
talking
DeFi
about
shit works
attack
wonderfully,
on Ethereum if no one's even attacking Ethereum Classic.
dude. They did. They 51% attacked it, but then the
I
hacker gave the
know,
money
but it
back anyway.
still
It was
goes
hilarious.
on.
I feel that I hope that DeFi works wonderfully, and I hope that they DeFi layer 2 the living shit on top of HEX, because HEX will be one of those underlying things. You talk about multi-collateral DAI, cool. Now you can collateralize for DAI fucking HEX tokens, great. I hope DeFi does fabulously, because I will make a lot more money if it does.
Yeah, you're
I just feel
five products, really.
right. Correct. I feel I like telling people the truth, and I think that there is a shitload of risk in contracts and a shitload of risk in counterparties. That is the reason that crypto was invented. And we have seen lots of people lose hundreds of millions of dollars to smart
Saying there's
contracts.
all this risk,
The
and
part,
so
okay,
the
let's talk about
source
the people who
is not
lost
risk.
money,
Why would you be the only one who could figure this out?
because I paid more. I paid more to better auditors and waited longer to do it. And that's it. That's the only difference.
Who are the? Let me find this article here.
I don't want to pick on a particular project that I've done limited research into. I want to speak in generalities because it applies to the majority of projects. If you found an outlier, congratulations.
Well,
I can
no,
tell you
but
that the DAO that lost $100 million or $80 million or whatever the fuck was one of the first instances of a contract getting destroyed. I can tell you that Polkadot losing 120 million or however many millions they lost was an example of how much you could lose in another smart contract. I can tell you that the parity multisig hack, where everyone that used the parity multisig implementation got all their fucking funds destroyed, literally destroyed, just you can't ever access them anymore.
Okay, hold on. Let me tell you. So first of all, I don't like going by all. I don't do that. I feel that successes are sort of, one in whatever 100,000.
I'm not talking about success. I'm talking about security
and find
failures.
the ones that are successes, not just the random. Yeah, I'm sure a lot of stuff sucks, but my point is that something is good. So this article here talks about Compound had an Open Zeppelin audit report, Trail of Bits audit report, and Certora audit report.
Yeah, I think Trail of Bits does fantastic work, and their shit is probably legit. Now, when you get a Trail of Bits audit, they rate it in man weeks, and so you could kind of look and see how many man weeks was put on it. More is better. So sure, maybe their shit works. Cool. It includes humans in it, right? Crypto is made to get rid of the humans, man.
The thing here, so I don't know, but
Look, I'm not an expert on these things. I am an expert on a lot of things. I am not an expert on which fucking hyper abstraction. We're going to over collateralize, and then if our collateral runs low, we're going to liquidate, and then the liquidations can only move by this amount of price, and everything's going to work. Look, finance has done that shit numerous times, and it has blown up very often. And much smarter, much more well-funded people with much less attack surface have had their cool inventions fucking explode.
You're talking on crypto.
I'm talking on normal commerce. I'm talking about credit default swaps.
Yeah, but it's different.
Okay? Credit default swaps is a great fucking idea. Credit default swaps is a great idea with over collateralization, and then it fucking failed because it wasn't over collateralization, right? It turns out that the collateral wasn't enough to cover the loans. And you could have the exact same type of failure in any of these fucking systems.
Well, but MakerDAO, when MakerDAO came out, I said, "Oh, okay, but is it going to work? I don't know." And then Ethereum crashed.
No, but you're making a.
So then I said, "Okay, it works."
You're making an assumption about a binary works or doesn't work world. When I'm trying to add nuance and let you know that there's probabilism and there's Bayes theory, which indicates that yes, something might work now, but it might not work later. How much evidence do we have in general of things of this type failing? Why do we believe that this is going to be the outlier and that it won't fail in that way? How much are we willing to receive as a payment to accept that risk? I'm telling you that there is a shitload of risk in DeFi. Vitalik told it to you himself. If you don't believe Vitalik about Ethereum, you're probably not going to believe me about Ethereum.
Article, you're referring to the one where he said, "Why is it 7%?" You know, so it must be based on the risk. Like, why is that 7% and Bank of America is 0%? You not that article?
Not that one. A different one. So I think it was a tweet. I think it was an interview and then a tweet. The point is, if the hundreds of millions of dollars of money that has been lost in smart contracts doesn't give you pause and make you want a very large return to accept that risk, I don't know what to tell you. You're not a security expert.
There you go.
Like,
there's
hundreds of millions of dollars that have been lost in smart contracts. I believe that my contract's secure as fuck because I got the auditors to approve it. They've got a similar level of auditors. Maybe they should have a similar level of confidence, right? Maybe their shit isn't as magically. So here's the other problem, right? Their game theory makes a lot of assumptions about how much of a thing is enough, like over collateralization, right? All of those stable tokens revolve around this idea that if something goes down in value, we'll take some of that over collateralization to make up for it. But if that number's wrong, even if the system is programmed perfectly and has no security flaws, that economics flaw is not accounted for by that. HEX doesn't have economics flaws. We don't use over collateralization. We don't reference or peg to anything else. We cannot fail in that way. So this extra attack surface that exists in those systems due to externalities and trying to measure something outside their system, like the actual real world value of a fucking dollar, right? That's very, very, very hard to do. And it can fail. And it has failed in other industries. And I'm just telling you, for 7%, I wouldn't take any risk at all. That's not enough. I don't care if they had good audits. 7% is not enough for me to take that risk.
All right, listen, we all make our choices.
What's your opportunity cost having not just held fucking Bitcoin, right? Or just held something else?
No. These are dollars that I'm holding. It's dollars in Bank of America versus some of those dollars. Do I keep all of my dollars in Bank of America earn no interest, or do I keep some percentage of them in compound finance and earn 7%? I'm not going to leave dollars because I need to be in cash. This is short-term money thing.
Look, I hope that the fucking economics work. I hope that the audit works. I hope that it's all fabulous. I hope it works out. It would take me months to get comfortable enough to accept the counterparty risk. I would never accept a 7% return. I just won't do it. I'd rather take the volatility of crypto.
I don't think it's you say counterparty, smart contract risk. And
didn't you say that there was humans that vote for that shit though?
No, I'm talking about voting. Unless you're talking about DAI holding the peg.
Okay.
I mean, MakerDAO has some voting in it.
Sure. Look, if it doesn't involve voting, and Trail of Bits audited it, and you looked at the over collateralization, it seems reasonable. Then okay, it could be okay.
With a lot of these voting, my thing is I don't believe in intelligence of the masses. I mean, I understand that prices through markets give you some intelligence, but voting, governance, I do not believe in at all because I think most people are a bunch of morons.
I agree.
And
I agree with you 100%. But
rather have one is leading.
I agree with you. The failure mechanism here, however, is the gun to the head mechanism. So a competitive stable chain comes out and they want to take all your business. So they go to 5 voters and they're like, yo, we got guns to your head. How about you hit a different number on that keyboard or we kill you? And they're like, oh, I like life. So I made the interest rate 100% now. And now, it costs you, like, You just enter a fucking different number, and now the system fails because someone had a gun to their head. It's
I
not
don't.
because they're dumb.
That's how it goes with Maker. It's Maker, I believe, is the community votes.
I'm not an expert on this shit, dude.
It's not that easy to mess with it.
I just know that if you want to invent something to do something extremely hard, you're going to incur a lot of attack surface to do so. And measuring the real world and having a price oracle, if that was easy, I would have already done it for HEX, and we would already accept a lot of other payments that weren't Ethereum, and we would just use a price oracle, right? You want to send Bitcoin to the contract? The reason I know that TBTC sucks and doesn't exist is because if it did goddamn exist, the AA system would accept Bitcoin and Ethereum.
AA?
Yeah, the adoption amplifier, where you transform Ethereum into HEX.
It doesn't exist yet.
I would love for that to accept TBTC if it existed. It doesn't. I would love for that to accept other crypto that had an oracle that could peg the fucking values, right? That shit doesn't exist, so I can't do it. I'm telling you, as a user of crypto that built a crypto, that I would love to use other cryptos on top of Ethereum if they existed, because the contract would receive more money. But I can't, because they don't exist and they suck. So it's like, I if it were easy to create a price oracle, I would have done it for myself and stuck it in the contract. It's extremely hard to do. And if you're able to do it, the cost of doing it is the risk that you fucked it up. And if you don't believe that risk is there, you don't understand complexity theory. The harder shit is to do, the more likely it is to fail, period.
All right. So there's people have a bunch of questions. I think what I'm going to do.
I will not run out of attention span before you. I will do this for 8 fucking hours.
Yeah,
so we can do anything you want.
I've been intermittent fasting. I know you're into longevity.
I'm into it in the brain. You're into it in the body. So it's working out much better for you. I wish I had the balls and the smarts to actually do intermittent fasting, which you do have the balls and the smarts for. Congratulations. I need to drop a lot of fucking weight.
Here's the key. Can I tell you the key?
Please.
Intermittent fasting.
I'm ready.
So, I believe, and a lot of it, feel free to interrupt me if I'm wrong here, but digestive system, I believe, uses 30% of the body's energy. So, when you don't eat, so this is what I found happens, especially we have patterns of when we eat. So first of all, intermittent fasting is just after dinner, when stop with the stupid eating all night long. At some point I stop after dinner, hopefully sooner rather than later. Go to sleep. Now it's in the morning. So I'm almost at 12 hours already. Skip breakfast. So now I've done 12 hours. That's like the minimum. Great. Now, can you skip lunch? And this is what I found. Depends what I'm doing. If I'm with the kids and they're eating candy, that's not going to be my day. Depending on what's happening. But I'm busy. I don't know, something's happening, and I go, you know what? We're going to plow through. You can have coffee, tea. So what happens? Your stomach. So it's noontime. My body's ready to eat. I'm starving. Just freaking plow through. Or sometimes I'll be like, screw it. Smoke pot and go for a workout. All of a sudden, you work through it,
right.
And then you're not hungry anymore.
Right.
And then you have all this fucking energy because you didn't use the digestion. Your body starts kicking in and starts using, I guess, what you have. I don't know.
Yeah, I agree. Look, I know that's true. Like if I'm
once you get past one of those, oh my God, my stomach's growling, I'm hungry, and you work through it and you feel that energy burst, that can motivate you to do it more.
So I do that when I'm at conferences. So when I'm at conferences, it's a lot of energy on stage and then a lot of energy in talking to people. And then you're usually tight for time, because then you actually have to do the normal work when you're done doing all that. So I just eat very little at conferences. And if I eat very little, I can sleep 2 hours less. But if I eat, like I normally do, I need 8 hours. If I eat less, I can do 5 hours and be totally happy and fine. Because like you said, I'm not using the energy to input new calories. I'm just using calories that are already there. So it's like imagine trying to build a car on the move. It's easier if you just stop the car for a while. And so it's easier for your body to use what it already has than to process new stuff energy wise. Now, obviously you do have to replenish every once in a while, which is why it's intermittent fasting, not real fasting where you just don't eat for a longer period.
That and rolling. I'm so into Tom Brady's roller pliability.
Okay.
You know about that thing? I was getting
Most
pain,
people,
body pain.
for most people, rolling is Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu now for some reason. So that's what they call it when you practice BJJ.
Really?
Yeah, it's called
But
rolling as
anyway,
well.
I'm so hungry
Or
because I
doing
can't believe
drugs,
this
doing
basket.
ecstasy is
I'm not
called
for all
rolling
the
too.
questions I have for you. I mean,
Just do the good ones. So like let's finish Hex.
some of the
I truly
questions
designed Hex to appreciate faster and higher and hold it. It's designed to do that. I believe that it will do that because we have such good marketing before we even have a demo. Wait till we have a demo. Wait till we have a test net. It should be next month. We should launch and then measure how the performance is, right? I mean, we got 17,000 email signups off of not a dollar spent marketing and not even a video of the project working, right? Like nothing. So imagine how good we'll do once those things are there. And I could hit record on this machine, actually the machine next to it, and just record the system working right now, which I might do at the end of this call. Yeah, like I believe in the design, I believe in the security, I believe in the game theory, and I believe in the marketing. And to me, there's just nothing left. You remember that token that got $9 million that lost all the money? The one that we mentioned in the very beginning? The one that spammed up the network. It was like, half of the transaction volume on Ethereum.
Yeah.
Oh, the Fairwind token, yeah. Look at their fucking marketing. That's the level we're at, right? Now, I don't like the appeal to, hey, this other sucks and we don't suck that bad, so we must be good. I don't like that argument really, but it's hard to avoid it in this context because that video is so funny. The Fairwind video. Have you seen the video that they did?
No,
Okay, everyone in chat, I'm going to send you the Fairwind video real quick. Let me go to my calls channel and scroll up a little bit and find the video. And I'm going to post you the link that I tweeted. Because if you wanted to make a video this bad and I paid you to do it, you'd be incapable of doing it. It's bad to a degree that is almost inhuman. Like, I've never seen a video this bad, ever. Green screen in the background, fake books, Russian guy, a Chinese manuscript translated to English, read by a Russian guy very poorly. Fiverr style. Like you pay a guy $5 to do it. All right, I got the link here. I'm going to post it to the chat in YouTube, and I'm going to post it to Dave in Telegram. Or actually, yeah, that's what I'll do. I'll post it to Dave first. Actually, I'll post it to chat first, and then I'll post it to Dave because chat's on lag. It'll perhaps synchronize you guys.
So, someone keeps texting about Tezos, and while we're waiting, can I just say, Tezos, when I am not a believer, they sort of like, well, Bitcoin has problems with the community coming together, so we'll have a system of on-chain voting. I'm not a believer in on-chain voting, especially in the long run, and so I don't believe Tezos would have to show me, and maybe, in 20 years, there'll be some voting systems where people really figured it out and it works for certain things and we'll know. No. Right now, I wouldn't bet on anything with voting because...
If you ask the general public to vote on highly technical questions, they should get the answers wrong. Yeah. Period.
Look at our look at the election in the U.S. I mean, voting.
I wish we had voting tests.
More on A versus more on B.
I think that you shouldn't be allowed, if you're not allowed to cut hair or be an electrician or drive without a license, and that's the world we live in, well, I think voting is as complex as those things. And I think most voters don't understand any of the policies that the people claim to have. I don't think they understand which of the policies could possibly be good. I don't know that I would pass and be actually qualified to vote in an American election and actually do a good job of it. I think that we should make it a specialized skill that people are actually good at, and then we would have better outcomes. I have a video on this on my YouTube channel. We should pay more to get better applicants for the jobs. We should have better voters through voting tests, and we should have a better voting system by using ranked lists and the Condorcet method instead of first past the post extremism, which is just like, the guy that gets the guy that everyone would be okay with doesn't get it. The guy that everyone hates but a little bit more percent likes gets it. So we need to fix all three of those things. I believe my YouTube video is called voting for the lesser of two evils sucks, how to fix democracy. I'll post that in the YouTube chat too.
But
Did you watch that
get,
Ponzi?
I'm like, my hunger it's hitting me, man.
All
I
right,
mean,
bro. I feel you.
it's almost 7. I
You
did
why don't you,
220
dude,
minutes. For me,
click
this
that
is long.
Ponzi
I know
video real
for you,
quick,
this
man.
is a quick get together.
All right. So look, you want to show your stuff and then I show my stuff, and we did a good enough job.
I'm gonna do. It's funny. You reminded me. I should shill my. Holidays are coming. The biggest selling season for sex toys. I don't work there anymore, but I still own it. Is the two biggest sell seasons: Christmas and Valentine's. That's the meat and potatoes in the sex toy industry. I have a coupon because actually, I have a friend who got really big in Bitcoin. He just hit me up the other day. He's doing his yearly Halloween order, he told me. And I was like, oh, I'll give you a coupon. And so I had one made. Dave 10 gives you 10% off.
Nice.
All the sex toys
What if
you
we put
need.
Dave 20? Can we hack the system? Probably not.
There's probably some old coupon that might still work at Dave 10. I don't know. If it works, God bless you. I don't know.
Awesome. Those dark patterns.
And
Yeah, so
that's sextoy.com, not toys, because toys I have to pay them commission.
okay.
It's
You probably
I didn't buy. I could have bought sextoy.com. I bought sextoy.com for $70, but I was like, which one should I buy, Sextoy or Sex Toys? Because I didn't want to spend another $70.
Good thing you saved that 70.
Yeah, thank God.
You could sue them for trademark violation and brand.
What else? I want to shell my YouTube channel. So Dave Lavine, my name, DaveLavine.com, where you could find me, and that's usually my social is some version of .com, like Twitter. Although I use Twitter for reading, I don't have many followers on Twitter, but feel free to follow. I post wonderful things. Dave Lavine 0, the number 0.com.
You could refer your Bitcoin whale buddy and make 20% on top of a stack if he uses your link, right? You already have an Ethereum address, so.
What are you talking about?
You said you got a Bitcoin whale friend, right? Send him your affiliate link for HEX. You make 20% on a stack. You said you had a friend that made it big in Bitcoin. He makes a big annual order every year, so you made him a discount code.
Right.
Yeah, so send him a HEX link. Send him a HEX referral link with your code. You get 20% on a stack.
Referral. Hey, you never know. That would be fun.
20% on a stack. See, most people in crypto, they make 1% of 1%, right? Like all these wallets that try and monetize, the only real income they get is people who use Changelly or Shapeshift to try and convert one crypto for another or buy with a credit card. Then they get banged for 2%, 5%, 10%, depending. And then the wallet will get 1% of that percent. Well, that sucks. That's not a lot of money. 1% sucks, and then 1% of 1% sucks. In HEX, you're getting 20% of their stack, their whole payout. That's a lot bigger number, right? Now, obviously, that number matters more if there's a good HEX USD price, which we don't have yet. So it's a big payout. There's nobody else in crypto that I know that pays better than 20%. So we kind of max that out. So I'll show my stuff. Follow me on Twitter, twitter.com/Richard Hart Win. Follow me on YouTube, youtube.com/Richard Hart. Go to my free calls channel, t.me/Richard Calls. Crypto chat, t.me/Strape. HEX chat, 4,000 people in there talking smart stuff. Complex system, you can make a lot more if you use the system the right way. t.me/Hex Crypto. Strape Charts trading channel, t.me/Strape Charts. I got a free book. Wrote a couple books actually that are free. They have every good idea I've ever had for the most part. t.me/Scivive, like Survive Through Science. SCIVIVE. And if you're going to donate to charity, donate to sens.org, sens.org. They accept crypto. If we cure cancer, everyone lives only 3 years longer. If we cure heart disease, people only live 3 years longer. Why? Because they're symptoms of age, and if you cure them, the next thing comes along and kills them. So why don't we do some research and do some science that could get us more than 3 years? If we get 4 years by any method at all, it's better than curing cancer, which kills 40% of people, and it's better than killing heart disease, which kills 40% of people. So I'm interested in regenerative medicine, rejuvenation, longevity technology. 200,000 people a day will die today that just no one cares about because they're old, right? And they really stop caring when they stop becoming useful some years in the past. And we can prevent them from falling apart, right? And this is something that might save your life, and it might save your kids' lives, and there's really no better thing a human being can do. As soon as HEX is successful, I'm rotating into the Scivive and finishing up the book and making the movement popular and getting people to invest in saving their own lives. Why not? You don't want to be Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs lost the game. He died very rich. You're still in the game. You're listening to me. You're still alive. You're doing better than Steve Jobs did. Don't make the same mistake he did. He knew he was going to die of cancer or heart disease because 80% of people do. He didn't spend any fucking money trying to stop it. Well, that was his bad. Let's make sure that Elon Musk doesn't make the same mistake and Jeff Bezos doesn't make the same mistake and you don't make the same mistake. You can still get rich investing in biotech. It just might save your own fucking life. Is that it? Oh yeah, go to hex.win. I put a lot of effort into making that site good. HEX.win. Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
Good chat, everybody. Dave, thanks. It's always a good chat. I hope I make you rich. And I hope you make a lot of sales this Christmas.
Thank you. And I always watch, I like when your new videos come out, I watch. But my favorite is just when you start yelling about how everybody's so stupid.
It's such an easy target. I feel bad hitting on everybody because they really are so goddamn stupid.
Most people, I was thinking, maybe I should insult my audience more. It's just like,
well,
you're all a bunch of idiots. Although
I know how shitty I am at things too. So it's not just like I have blinders on. I'm old and fat and I curse too much. I know this, right? And I don't pretend that it's not the case, right? Like, so I'm realistic with my audience and I'm realistic with myself. And I think reality's nice, there's enough bullshit out there. I'm almost considering creating a new account on Twitter just to post all of the horrible, terrible, vacuous shit I see posted all the time on there. Like, hey guys, we're going to 1 million next year. Why? Why do you think that, you stupid fucker? Do you do technical analysis? Like, why? Why do you think that? Oh, you think that because you'll get likes if you say it. That's why you think that, right? And then people just do that shit constantly. They say things that are untrue and misleading and fuck people over basically, but they want fucked over. They love it. They're like, yeah, lie to me. Tell me this fantasy hopium bullshit. Yeah, fucking great. Like people that say we're in early. This is funny that I actually got engagement on this tweet. I said, hey man, Bitcoin, look at how early we are. You know who was in even earlier? People that bought at 20,000. Because people in their brains, they're like, yo, early means we're going to get richer. Well, that's a cool story. But the people that bought at 20,000, 3 times higher, they were fucking earlier than you. How'd it work out for them, right? Let's stop talking shit. Like, let's be real. But real doesn't get as many fucking likes. It just pisses me off. It's like this dude, Pomp. He went on television and they keep inviting him and he says things that are untrue on television. It pisses me off greatly. Bitcoin's already the fastest appreciating asset along with other cryptos in the history of mankind. You don't need to fucking lie about it. That's enough. That is enough. It is enough.
What did he lie about? What was the lie?
If you don't believe in Bitcoin, you don't believe in cryptography. What? Cryptography preceded Bitcoin. What the fuck are you talking about? Bitcoin was something that happened after cryptography.
That doesn't even make sense, so I don't know.
No, it doesn't make any fucking sense. But they go right on television and say it, and everyone's like, pump my bags. Pump my fucking bags. Yes, thank you. Thank you, sir. But if you say real shit, like, yo, we dropped 47% in fucking 130 days, it means we're probably going to drop more. Unfollow. Unsubscribe. What? Reality? Trying to save me money? Huh? And they just don't want the truth, right? They want the fucking lie.
What about Travis Kling? Do you follow him at all?
No. Like once you get good at technical analysis, you don't really give a fuck about what other people are doing. Is he a price guy?
He's no, he's from traditional markets. He's a
so price guy.
He's a hedge fund, but I think he's interesting. He seems to understand the market well.
Here's the thing about the market now. Novogratz, who lost $280 million in 2017. Or I think he lost $282 million in 2018 and something like $127 million in 2019 so far with his Galaxy Digital Fund.
Yeah, but when you say what he lost, what did he make in 2017? I mean, he got into
not
Ethereum
that much.
at 90 cents.
Right, but the Galaxy Digital Fund is not him, right? His fund is its own thing, and it reports its gains and its losses, and it was created, I believe, in 2018.
He's doing okay.
I'm not sure he is a billionaire. Maybe he is because of his EOS.
There's some good podcasts with him. He's entertaining if you can get past.
Look, he follows me, and I don't mind the guy, but I'm just calling him out on shit price calls.
And then he was, and then he wasn't a few times, and I think he is now.
Dude, if people make bad price calls, I'm going to fucking call you out on them. So he said we're going to range from 10 to 16K.
Yeah. Well,
that didn't fucking happen. And Tom Lee, who also follows me, and both these guys are on television all the time, I like them. They say smart shit, but they were 100% wrong because they didn't know that it was just a Chinese Ponzi. They thought there was some other shit going on. So did I. but we were all wrong, and I'm the guy that's telling you
Did
about
you
it.
find out it was the Chinese Ponzi? Is this just from the tweet a few days ago, or did you
No,
know?
I knew about it when they actually got shut down, and I just didn't want to believe, right? I was like, there's no way. There's no way that's it. Like, there's got to be other good things going on, right? Apparently not, right?
Backed, although
I knew Backed would be...
Backed did like 5 million or something yesterday.
Bro, if you start as a new company, you start with 0 customers, period.
Right.
I don't give a fuck who you are. You start with 0 customers.
Faith in Backed in the long run?
I have no idea why anyone would ever use them for anything ever whatsoever. We already have CME futures. We already have options through LedgerX and have had for over a fucking year. We already have options that do vastly more volume in offshore jurisdictions, which people pay premiums for.
Some institutional money who would only use their
bullshit.
Their favorite institution.
No, I don't believe that. And their fucking insurance that they have for their product only goes up to 120 million anyway. So their fucking cold wallet is only insured for 120 million anyway, which is dog shit. Maybe they could raise the rate later when it was necessary. Like, I have no idea why anyone would ever use any of those things. Like, okay, you want better counterparty that you're more likely to get paid from? Okay, you got CME. That's great. Oh, you want custody?
Well,
okay,
I have a friend who he has, I don't know what it is, some sort of investment vehicle. He invests for other people. And when he was like, well, Fidelity, I was like, well, you can get it through Coin. If I go through Coinbase, it's all this. But if it's with Fidelity,
but we already have custody solutions from Coinbase and Gemini and BitGo.
The reason it was easier for him to go with it, like if he's with Fidelity, that's easy because he's all set up with that.
Okay.
And it's regulated, and he doesn't have to create new this and that. I don't know. That's supposed.
Here's the
money.
Here's the problem I have with new markets opening up. Okay, hey, a new market opened up. Great. So let me give you an example. We just had all-time high volume for Backed, right? We just got that. They were doing like 9 coins a day. Now they did like 500 coins a fucking day yesterday, right? Which is still pitiful dog shit, but it's a lot better, right? And what did the price do? Price went down. So Backed volume went up and the price went down. Do you like that? Do you like that relationship? Is that a good relationship? It turns out that when fucking markets open, it doesn't mean everyone's just goddamn buying, right? So if you prefer this counterparty because you run some fund that has some fucking rule, sure, you may like to buy there, but you know who else might be on that fucking exchange? The guy who sold to you. And he might like it better there too. And he might want to sell more than you want to fucking buy. So just because you open a new market, that shit does not mean the price is going up. When CME launched, the price took a fucking shit. And when Backed launched, the price took a shit. And when Backed's doing more volume now, the price took a bigger shit.
Launches,
Ameritrade's had fucking Bitcoin on there forever. Ameritrade has had access to the CME futures on Bitcoin for eternity.
Futures, I've heard they're working on, just you can buy Bitcoin, Ethereum, and several tokens.
No one cares. They just want to make money, and it's easier.
No, I know. Don't you think that would add some buyers because TD Ameritrade has a lot of, sort of stock investor types who.
Sure, I would lean towards that being bullish, but every time a new thing is launched, just push the price down. So at what point do you want to learn that? You're like, okay, CME launched, push the price down as fuck. We dropped 85%.
CME wasn't buying any Bitcoin, so that.
Oh bullshit! Why do you think we ran up the fucking run? Like.
No, it's CME settles in dollars, so it's not. It's just a.
Bro. We went up multiple $1,000s per day just before the fucking launch, and then we dumped just after the launch. Don't pretend that the launch didn't matter. The fucking peak was the day of the fucking launch.
I don't even know that it matters, and maybe it just matters negatively. I'm just saying it doesn't help if no one's buying Bitcoin. It's going to help.
I'm saying that it matters over a longer time frame, price positive to buy the rumor, and then it matters in a very shorter time frame, price negative for sell the news. It matters both ways. Any new event is going to give you a longer run up and a quicker run down. We always do elevator up. We always do stairs up and elevator down in every fucking coin. And even in equities. Stairs up and elevator down.
The opposite, it goes straight up and then crashes. I know.
It doesn't go straight up. It's a fucking ramp. It's a hockey stick. It does not go straight up. There is a ramping. There is a scaling.
If you look at the charts, I mean, I know Stellar was classic with this, where the ups were straight up, and then the downs are these long, bouncy things. That's what
yes,
I found
altcoin
out.
charts,
Which is the opposite of traditional markets, which are, I think, the stairs up, elevator down is
yeah, you're
traditional.
in altcoins, you do see that. So there is still a little bit of ramp up, but there is a lot of fucking vertical in every shitcoin chart. And then yes, you have, so it's like a Christmas tree, but the left side of the Christmas tree is just fucking hacked straight,
Yeah,
pretty
yeah.
much. Yeah. So Bitcoin does have a little bit more of a parabolic rise. Shitcoins do have more of a vertical fucking rise. Like if you want to see one, go look at Primecoin, right? Or Doge or XRP, or they all do that vertical and then just death for a couple of years. Yeah, so adding new markets, yeah, it's great long term. It's great very short term. It's terrible middle term because people buy the fucking rumor, sell the fucking news. And how many times do you want to see it? It just keeps. This is what happened to gold, by the way. Gold used to not be listed on futures, and then the GLD gold future opened, and then it has a big fucking run up, and then it took like 10 years to get back to that fucking high again. So this is not something that's just unique to crypto, right? So adding new markets, yeah, sure, let's buy the rumor, yeah, let's sell the news, but like after they launch, it just purely sucks. And I think as a result, people just don't really want to buy. If they wanted to buy, they could have already done it, truthfully. If you want Bitcoin, you could fucking buy it. There ain't nobody in the world except your buddy who has some fund or something that could have bought from fucking,
Well,
Galaxy.
the argument is that institutions are coming, but right, most people are like, "Oh, how do I buy Bitcoin?" I'm just like, "Go fucking buy it."
Yeah, like institutions were coming when CME launched. We dumped 85%. Institutions are coming back launched. We dumped like what 20%, some fucking shit. Like you're just like, yo, at one point, do you want to be like, yo, actually institutions, like fuck off. Like we don't like buy and don't tell us about it, or buy in the existing frameworks, but like we don't need another new stupid dumbass project to dump the price another huge percent because it ran up because your thing was going to launch, right? That's it. So good luck, guys. I hope you make a lot of money. There's still a lot of money to be made here. You just have to do shit right. Eventually, some bull market will come, which makes all of the tides rise, which was fucking 4 months ago. 120 days ago, we had the 14K top, and it only took, go from 3K to 14K, 4.5 months. So we're just waiting for the next one of those. Make our new all-time highs. Everyone goes crazy, buys shit that they shouldn't. That will happen again. It's just a question of when.
I'm bullish on 2020. The halvening.
Yeah. Yep.
Ethereum.
I like it.
Bitcoin on Ethereum that people trust.
I'd love that. I wish Bitcoin was on Ethereum right fucking now.
Of course, maybe Bitcoin HEX will lead the whole market.
Well, you got to onboard new users. You need new people buying. If you want the prices to go up, you need more people buying and selling. It's that easy. And in order to afford advertisements, you got to have margin. And so in a real, truly decentralized cryptocurrency, no one can afford to bring on a new user because they don't make enough profit on it. But now I told you, you could make 20% on bringing your friend on board, 20% of his whole stack. That's pretty fucking compelling. You might actually do that. But these other things you'll only support and talk about if you've already bought a bag of them, right? So you're talking to me about Celsius or something because you probably have a bag of it.
Celsius is not one that and they may be fine, a good company and everything,
Okay.
but that's more of a traditional, they're lending. You have to trust that they're lending it well.
Right.
I like pools,
Right.
pools for trading or pools for lending that are not controlled by humans, controlled by algorithms.
So my point is that when you have a referral program, it gives you the margin to be able to onboard new users profitably and rotate that money back into marketing. And then we can see ads on Facebook. We can see ads in Times Square. We can see a lot of ads because people have the margin to create them. And any truly decentralized...
That is probably the metric, is how many people are posting. Mm-hmm. And, it's like that BitConnect. I remember it was on every fucking comment. It was like, oh my God. And that thing, that was not a good project, right? Or most of these things. So as much as I'm only going to be if I think it's real, right?
Yep.
But if you have good marketing, it doesn't even have to be a good product.
Well, I'll put it to this way. The Plus Token Ponzi founder has 1% of Bitcoin. So he turned his bullshit, fake garbage into something real, and he owns more Bitcoin than you. He owns more Bitcoin than me. He owns more Bitcoin than almost anyone except fucking Satoshi, right? So Satoshi's got 1 million coins, and the Bitcoin Ponzi founder's got 200,000 coins.
And this is speaking of like criminals turning something into some shit into something. You know, I don't know if you know about this story of, you know, this company, I think it's Brazzers, who bought Playboy, biggest porn company.
Brazzers bought Playboy?
Aren't they the ones that own that now?
I don't know. I'm out of that game.
I think they did. It just became this huge porn company. This it came from, there was these guys, I don't know if you remember, there used to be these things, said, oh, you have a virus on your computer.
Right.
In order to remove it, you go here and you buy this program, and they were the ones selling the program and installing the virus and whatever it was. And it was some fucking scam thing. They made a shitload of money, and the guy just fucking quit doing that and then went and started buying up porn companies. Can you believe it? So became one of the biggest, and they're running a business. And
it's probably better for the world that he stopped scamming. So if a scammer stops scamming and decides to do real business, that's better for the world, because the world's getting scammed less, usually, right? I didn't know about that. I don't watch their content. Like, it's just not my.
Yeah, I don't. I just remember from the industry. I just thought it was interesting because usually, it's always like way in the movies. You know, someone's a criminal and they just keep going and going, and then they end in jail. It's like
usually, right. Very rarely do they get the fuck out.
Yeah, people never quit. I'm like, this guy got out, but you know,
a good story to leave it off on.
I'd be like, you know what? I connected most of the world. Everybody hates me now. Fuck you, I'm done. I mean, enough already.
Hilarious. Well, I have part of the reason I have really big goals with HEX is because I want to put the money into medicine. I don't want to die, and I'm obviously not doing so good in the dieting, so I need the technology to exist. Period. I'm strong. I lift weights like a motherfucker, but you know that don't really help with the longevity so much.
College roommates, he you know, his belly kept getting too big, so to make up for it, he would just lift a bunch of weights to make his chest even bigger. But you know, eventually he was this
a sphere. He was spherical. A cylinder. Hey man, it was good talking to you. Anytime.
Okay. Good talking to you.
Watch the video. I'm gonna forward you 2 videos of just seeing the HEX wallet work, and then I think everything will seem a lot more clear to you. They're 1 minute long. Talk to you later, man.
Thank you.